My books Honest Bonds and Honest Bonds The Fall of Tenebris are available for purchase on Amazon. Also, manga writer has written a webcomic series called Shadows. Links to these can be found in the description. Alright, so we are here discussing the Five Nights at Freddy's film. This has been, if I recall right, this film has been in the works. It was announced in 2015. Way back when, I don't even think the third game was out at the time, but this has been in the works for a while. But yes, I am your host, Sergeant Major Mario, and with me is manga writer, Galactic Cuisine, and Z the Hyena. Say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
What's goody?
Now, I think I think will be a good place to start because, you know, unlike Mario and Sonic, the FNaF, FNaF is indie, but it is big. So I think we should start by discussing our own histories with this series. I'll start. I played the games up until the VR game, at which point I pretty much saw Markiplier's playthroughs, and then I've been up to date with the MatPat stuff up until Security Breach. But I have not read the comics, nor have I read the books.
I didn't even know there was comics. What the fuck?
I didn't know there was comics.
Yeah, there's comics and books.
Ah, fantastic.
Jack, do you want to start off with your history of the series?
I think it's safe to say I probably have like the least experience with FNaF out of like the four of us. I've never really played any of the games. I've only played them like maybe once or twice at like friends' houses and stuff. And that's only the first game. Never played the second game, third game, fourth game, never played anything after that. Never read any comics, never read any books. But I do know people who are big into FNaF, so that's usually where most of my, I guess you could say, knowledge comes from. I watched a couple of the MatPat game theory videos up until 4, I think. Maybe it was even before that, maybe it was like after 3. And I watched Markiplier's playthrough of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, and then I stopped completely with the series, and I only got back into it with the analog horror genre that was going around in the community for a while, and that was pretty cool. And I think it's like the only real experience and the only video I ever watched that got me actual knowledge of the series was Wendigoon's hour-and-a-half long video talking about the entire timeline, which I recommend you guys go watch. It's actually a really good video. So yeah, I have I know pretty much next to nothing about the series.
Fair enough. What about you, Eddie?
I watched Markiplier play up to 4, and then I played the Pizza Simulator. I couldn't really follow the lore, so I had MatPat's theories for that, and that's kind of it. I played Security Breach for a bit, still have yet to play the DLC.
Fair enough. Z, Markiplier, MatPat as well?
Sensing a bit of a trend here.
Well, for me, I was in the same boat. I started off with watching Markiplier. I've watched every series of the main line, even Security Breach. I did the Security Breach, the DLC. I've read the first book. I've been watching, I want to say 90% up to date to all of the MatPat theories. I've also watched other FNaF oriented videos as well, like Daco and others. I've also thought about a few different theories myself that others think about as well, but playing the games has always been like the first one, Security Breach, the DLC, and the mobile game as well, which is that they come towards you with the VR.
Oh yeah, the augmented the AR game. That one was sort of like Five Nights at Freddy's Go in a weird way.
Yeah, it really was. But I played it because it had lore of the series and dug into it as well.
Yeah, that like even that one was canon to the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. It tied to the VR game, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
Five Nights at Freddy's is basically the indie version of Kingdom Hearts, where you just have like all this super convoluted lore that's told out of order with each game. And if you miss even one of the games, you just miss out on like so much stuff. Like, if I could only imagine somebody's experience going from the first 4 games and then forgetting that there's like, what's like Five Nights at Freddy's 5 called? Like the one with Candy and all that?
Not Candy, you mean Circus Baby.
Yeah, Circus Baby, sorry.
So sister location.
Yeah, Sister Location, thank you. Like, I could imagine someone not knowing that those games existing, and then they're going straight to like Security Breach, and just how much lore they would have missed out. And even then, it's like, I find it, this is like the biggest strength and the weakness of the FNaF series, is that I do enjoy series that like are mysterious in a way, like in a way that you can, in order to find the lore, you have to do like specific stuff. Like, it's almost like you're being a detective for the series, which is great, but some of the ways you have to do it is like borderline ridiculous. And it makes...
Yeah, that comes with the books and the mini games of the games. Like, it's wild.
The moment I was reading I did actually read a bit of the Twisted Ones, the first book, or Silver Eyes, whatever it's called. But the moment I read about the robots like burying themselves, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
What?
You can definitely tell that it's a series where Scott Cawthon was really making it up as he went along. There definitely wasn't a concrete story at the start of it.
I don't even think it was that. I think it was just a point where it's like, because it was getting insanely popular thanks to internet theories and stuff, I guess he was like trying to see, is like, all right, I want to put this into the story, and I'll let the theorists make sense out of this, and there you go, I'll go with that.
Yeah, because Five Nights at Freddy's 1, it's like I think about on a daily basis when people talk shit about the movie, is because like we're talking about a game that you sit there for 6 hours straight playing with a tablet, playing with lights and all that, and all of the mysteries that you would see and quote unquote lore was be like through some newspapers, through your paychecks, through other means, and sometimes with little glitches that will happen in the
Some invisible some invisible keypad.
Yeah. That's with
Yeah, that's like the third game, yeah.
that's with the third game, yeah. But that's the thing. Like, why are we going to bash something that basically didn't have like a boatload of lore to begin with? It slowly started developing, and it's like Scott even said himself, he wanted to go with the whole twist that, oh yeah, it was just a dream in FNaF 2, but he knew already that people were going to get pissed off over it, so he had to like scrap a lot of ideas to just continue it. I am in the same boat with Jack, saying like, oh, like not Jack, Tommy, that he's been making it as he goes. But I mean, it's fair, because like everybody are constantly questioning him, like, and bombarding him like, is this theory true, or is this one true? Is it related to what happened in Chuck E. Cheese and all that? And it's like, guys, calm down. It came from something. I mean, it came from nothing, and it blew up to something huge.
Yeah, Lord knows if I created a series like that, I would not have been able to like be as consistent as Scott was, so I'll give him credit there.
I think Scott forgot, like, he had an initial idea and then lost it when the second one comes on.
Amongst like the theories and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that it is very funny at just how the most simplest theory people came up with in the first game, when that was all we knew, was someone killed children, but who did it? And you know, Matt Pat's theory of you were the killer is like, oh, okay, maybe that makes sense. Like, that was all we had at the time, and now it's just so convoluted.
Yeah.
It's the most convoluted thing ever, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
It's like half the charm of FNaF though, so I appreciate the same way people appreciate Kingdom Hearts.
Now that we've discussed that, on to the actual reason we're here. 5 Nights at Freddy's: Birth by Sleep. I think before we start, we should do what we did with the previous stuff and give our spoiler-free reviews first. I'll start. Painfully average. It's not even scary.
Is that all you're gonna say?
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Short, sweet. 5 out of 10. Painfully average.
For me, I found the film to be a 6 out of 10. I'd even push it up to a 7, maybe. Because I quite enjoyed the film. I actually thought it was, like, fairly decent. I do agree with you on the fact that, like, it isn't as scary as it should have been. Because, after all, it is, like, a horror series. But I do understand why they didn't go full-on with the horror. But for what it was, it kind of fits into the stuff with the games. It's, like... I guess, like, this is, like, the one minor spoiler I might give in this one. It's not canon to the games. It's, like, its own thing. So, and for what they do, it definitely, like, captures that convoluted charm that made FNaF so fun in the first place. And, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it.
I think the pacing was a bit weird in the beginning, but overall, I give it a solid 7 out of 10. I think if you're going to make a film adaptation of the first game, considering what the first game was like those days, it did a pretty good job translating into a movie.
Honestly, I want to say a solid 7 out of 10 as well, because I really did enjoy the movie. And sure, and like I said before, like, to make a movie out of the first game that basically did not have any lore whatsoever, only when it started with the 2, 3, and so forth, they made a solid good movie. And Blumhouse, fantastic to them. Like, they did a wonderful job on it. They were the ones that did the Megan movie and also the Banana Splits, so I want to congratulate them for not also making a good movie, but they made those animatronics look fantastic as well.
To be fair, the animatronics are done by the Jim Henson Company.
Yeah, but even still, like, the fact that they got those people to actually do the animatronics is great. I think also, to build up on your point, Z, I think they also did, what was that film called? A Quiet Place? Was it? Did Bloodhouse do that? I think so? I could be wrong.
I think they did the Purge films.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, the Purge films. Yeah.
I think they also did Paranormal Activity as well.
Yeah, Blumhouse has got a diverse amount of horror films under their belt, that's cool.
Because it is interesting. Because like if you were to like I don't know if you noticed, like, in the ident of Blumhouse, like at the start of the film, it does like a zoom out of the house and you see some of their horror icons that they've done like in the house, which I thought was like a little neat touch.
Yeah, they also did like some of the Halloween films as well, like the more recent ones.
Yeah, because like you saw Michael Myers there, which a neat touch. So the film starts off with a night guard unscrewing event cover and then going in the vent. Apparently Markiplier was meant to be that night guard.
See, I don't know how I'd be with him being in the first scene. I definitely would have wanted him later.
I feel like it definitely would have been like very fan servicey if they did him like straight out of the gate. So I do agree with you on that. I think it's like the reason why Markiplier wasn't able to do it was because he was producing Iron Lung at the time. So because of like scheduling conflicts, he wasn't able to be in the film.
Thing is, okay, I get what you're saying, but let's be honest, that guy, like that night guard, was very panicky and screaming, and what's Markiplier known for?
Oh yeah, I saw like a compilation. I saw like a recent compilation of him like doing the FNaF games, and like, yeah, the guy really knows how to be entertaining with that kind of stuff.
So you're saying that you wouldn't be panicky or screamy when being chased by robots?
Oh, I'd be shitting myself 100% if I was in that situation.
Yeah, when you see a robot fox, dum 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 dum.
So yeah, so he crawls out. He crawls away through the vents. When he tries to go to the exit, it's blocked, and we have an interesting first person sort of like perspective of the animatronic, which, let's be honest, is Foxy chasing him to the exit, which I don't know if they did have like a camera in the animatronics, but I want to be real. If I saw an animatronic running up towards me, I fucking shit myself.
Oh, yeah.
How many takes do you think that guy went through because he was genuinely terrified of what was running up towards him?
I don't know about you, but my god, I feel like the one thing, like the first thing I'll give the film praise for, they really captured the scale of just how big and scary the animatronics can be.
Oh yeah.
And I really do appreciate that. Like Foxy is like the standout example in this film. Any shot with him, you're always like looking up at him, and he's always like super tall, and you don't see his full body all the time. It's really, really cool.
Because the animatronics are meant to be big. Because like animatronics are normally huge, but it's like they kind of forgot that as the games went on by. And you look at like fucking like Security Breach when like Freddy's talking to Vanessa. She's like, he's like what, barely even a foot taller than her.
Yeah, exactly.
But the night guard gets caught. He's like unnamed in the film, and he's put in this. Let's be honest, a very Saw-like contraption.
I haven't seen like the most recent Saw movie like a while ago. I definitely saw the
I ain't see Saw in years, and that immediately thought of Saw.
Yeah, but like I appreciate it because like that's basically what the like stuffing the guards into the animatronics was like. Like I don't think they had like all the gears and the blades and stuff, but like yeah, the idea of shoving someone into like the animatronic, it does sound like quite Saw-like. So the fact that they like delved into that was pretty cool, in my opinion.
It's the saw blades in the suit that really took me out of it a bit there, because I was honestly just expecting to hear, "Hello, I want to play a game. You are chained to a chair. A mask is coming towards you."
You already heard a little bit of Jigsaw. He was going dum 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 dum.
Oh my god! So.
It's Jigsaw's first cameo. Why do you think his voice is so deep? Tobin Bell did it. Duh.
I kind of want to see. An alternate cut of that guard just screaming, but instead of Foxy, it's just fucking Jigsaw on the trike just coming up towards him. Hello, Night Guard. I want to play a game.
Hello, Night Guard. You were very scared in that one Chuck E. Cheese, and you disappointed an employee. You are now going to know what it's like to be a horrible animatronic.
The clock is ticking. Make your choice. After that we go to the opening, a very nicely done opening with like 8-bit style graphics.
Yeah, and these graphics do show off the story of William Afton going after kids, and I would say this is probably one of the most standout scenes in the movie.
Yes.
This was like masterfully told, and this is like the thing I will give the film is that like it definitely was a film made with fans in mind, with like all the fan service and the references and stuff, but it did do a good job at getting new people who don't know pretty much anything about Five Nights at Freddy's to still get involved in the story. And I feel like this opening credit is like the prime example of that.
It's a game movie, but it's also a movie.
Yeah, it's like this opening basically tells the story of a story that's been going on at this point for about like over 10 years. And they managed to condense it into like 4 minutes. It's great stuff. I really like it.
Also, unless I'm mistaken, did the games ever show the actual event of the 5 kids getting killed?
They do in some ways. I don't know. Like again, this is my Wendigo knowledge, so obviously take everything I'm about to say with a pinch of salt. But I think it was like in some of the more recent games. I think it was like mainly Sister Location, where there were cutscenes where you can clearly see William Afton like taking some of the kids. I don't think the games have ever shown like all 5 of them getting killed. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but yeah, there were some instances where if you managed to find those secret cutscenes, you would find William Afton going after certain kids. I think there's definitely one where he got the kid who would eventually become the puppet in Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Right, okay. Also, I want to say the music that plays in the opening theme is the only good song in the soundtrack.
Really? You don't like the soundtrack?
Really?
I listened to the soundtrack. It is officially available on like Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, and stuff like that. I listened to it. The only good song from the actual team is the opening track. The rest of it is just generic horror strings and stuff like that. I just did not care for it, and I'm the music guy here.
All right, fair enough.
But after the very nice opening, we get the protagonist of the story, Mike Schmidt.
But he isn't actually named because they keep that a secret.
No, he is named.
Well, it's like they don't tell his surname. I don't think
they don't say the full name until like. He's getting interviewed in the office for a job, but it was kind of cut because when he was going to say Schmidt, like he was like, well, hey, would you like some coffee? Like they don't say it completely, even in his VHS in the security office, they don't put his full name, they just put in Mike.
He does say his full name to Vanessa.
Yeah, but that's like halfway through the film at that point.
Yeah, well, we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves here.
I want to also go back to what Jack was talking about showing some of the kids getting offed. And one of the games, number 6, which is Ultimate with the simulator, they did present what could have been Chica, which she was playing the little mini game with the cats and getting the little slices of pizza and all that, like the Pac-Man game. But when you're beating that game, at the end, like you see her face and horrified while the purple guy was behind her.
I know the one you're on about, because I did get that one, but like the problem is that like after the whole 5 children stuff, as more games came out, there were more kids that were killed. That's the problem.
Like the series has a pretty high body count, to be honest.
Like even Afton's own daughter was one of the victims, and like it's to the point where like I'm not even sure that can be one of the victims is the problem. I'm not saying you're wrong, Z, but it's just like there's so many fucking deaths at this point. A lot of children have been killed.
Yeah, and you also do have to keep in mind that this movie isn't canon to the games, like I've said before. So this is probably following its own lore.
True, but I'm just saying, like, there are some parallels to the movie with the games and the comics, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get that. But anyway, so we see Mike, motherfucker's on the sleeping pills, and it's where we see that he has a little sister, Abby. They don't really get along at the start. It just seems like they don't get along, but that could just be like, you know, how Hollywood sees brother-sister relationships.
I'll be honest, I actually thought that Mike was like Abby's father for like the longest time throughout the film. And it was all like around the end when like he said like sister, I was like, oh, okay.
I thought father as well. It wasn't until we saw the greatest character in the film ever, but we'll get to her in a little moment. So we cut to Mike's job, working for security in what I assume is a mall. It's just not said, you know. Just but like they really wanted to get to the point of how he gets the job at the pizzeria, because some of the details they just skim out.
He also has a quick scene of talking to this one guy about like dream theory, which is it's a very consistent thing throughout the film, which I think is quite cool.
Dream theory, and I don't know if you noticed, but like he was reading Mike's book, which was very well used. Like he's read that book multiple times. A neat detail. So during one day at work, Mike sees what he thought was a kid getting kidnapped. He really acts without thinking.
Yeah, sprang into it.
But I mean, look, in Mike's defense, like the way he saw it, like
that was like PTSD right there.
But it's like, to be fair to Mike, the way he not only that context as well, thank you Z, but also the way the dad dragged the kid away definitely looked like he was fucking kidnapping him, I'll be honest.
It's true, because even the kid was like, he wasn't reacting to like, oh, it's my dad or something. Like he was like genuinely horrified, and he was like fighting him and all that.
Thing is though, I've seen kids act like that when they really want something and their parents wouldn't give it to them.
I mean, I guess, but it's like, again,
I've acted like that as a fucking brat.
I mean, it's like, I'll just like, but I feel like I do see where Mike is coming from, which I appreciate the film doing.
Yeah, with his past, he was like, he wanted to act quick to the degree that he just chased him down to the fountain and tackled the guy.
Yeah, Mike is fucking strong in this movie, I'll give him that. Like, that guy is relentless.
I understand his reasoning. I understand his motives. But there are professional ways to go about it before you beat the ever-living shit out of someone in front of Others to see.
Tackles him, gives him 2 black eyes.
I don't know, fam. I'd do it as well. I'd do it as well.
Honestly, again, he was on sleeping pills. Maybe he wasn't feeling too good.
No.
His PTSD was kicking
There's
in.
ways around this, Z.
Like,
we know this.
No.
You can't tackle people and senselessly beat them to a pulp like it's World Star.
Look, maybe that dad deserved it. All right, that's all I'm saying. Maybe he deserved
Me and Z are
it.
on Team Mike. Mike did nothing wrong.
He did not do anything
Justice
wrong.
for Mike.
So after that, it just hard cuts to him in. I honestly thought he was in the police station because he was getting nicked for, assault. No, he was just back at the job center.
I see that the cops just did not get involved.
Yeah, that was weird. You'd imagine that's something you'd want to see.
Yeah, like, because the way it implies is like it's been like a day or two. He still beat the shit out of someone. He should have gotten nicked,
This is what I was talking about in the beginning when the pacing of this was really weird in the beginning. Like, it just really jumped to the point.
This is like the one flaw that I will give the film, like, consistently throughout. They will introduce a plot point, or they will show you something, and they won't show you the aftermath of that plot point. And there's one egregious one around the end, but, like, I'll save that for when we get there. But yeah, I will give you that. Like, I thought that, like what Tommy said, I thought he was at the police station, but I guess he was not. It's like, that would have been the natural next step, but, like, no, I guess not.
He should have been at least at the police station or something in relation to it after basically assaulting somebody.
Or even, like, his, like, career counselor would have at least said, it's like, oh yeah, you're just fresh out of the police station or something.
Yeah. Exactly. Like some context behind what happened. Like a little time skip.
So, because, like, as far as we know, Mike just beat the shit out of this person. The police went, what the fuck are you doing? And Mike went, I thought this guy was kidnapping a kid. And the police are like, oh, okay.
I mean, he does look kind of rapey. Sure, we'll let you go, but don't do it again.
That kid had war flashbacks in his eyes. I get it.
So then we meet his work coach, Steve, and here's the thing about Steve that kind of bothers me, and I thought it was because of something, but that doesn't seem to be the case, because like the way he was talking to Mike was like he didn't want Mike to be there because like, oh fuck, I'm dealing with a guy that has lost a job. He's gone through so many jobs at this point. Why is he here? And then when he reads out the name, he goes like, Mike Schmidt. And then he suddenly acts all friendly, offering coffee and stuff, and then offers him a job. Now, cutting into spoilers right now, it is revealed about who Steve is later on in the film, right? And I thought it was because Mike's family was in the folder, but he didn't know that he had a sister. So, and I thought it was like, oh, okay, so he saw that Mike had a sister, so he wanted to kill her later. But no, that doesn't seem to be the case because he had no idea.
And I guess there's also the case, it's like, wouldn't Afton already know who Mike is at this point if he's been around, like, consistently? You mean to tell me, like, this is, like, the only time he has ever read his last name?
Well, okay. As someone who is unemployed, I have gone through 3 different work coaches. So I think this is a case of, okay, you're back on unemployment, here's your new work coach. Or career counselor, whatever they called it over there.
Okay, got it.
So he gets offered a job, and they have the whole, it's like, oh, you only got to do one thing, just this and this. Oh, there's 2 jobs. I heard about 3 people laugh at that bit, and I'm like, really? Well, I found a target audience for this.
It's got a couple of the MCU style humor in this, which is like, It's used sparingly, which I enjoy.
Mike gets home and he turns down the job initially because he can't do nights, is what he says. But he gets home and he got a delinquency notice on the door. You think he already get done before that, though, because he still assaulted someone. and this is like the only time it gets brought up after this bit. Just like, no more. He learned his lesson. But in this part, we meet Max, the babysitter, and some more like interactions between Abby and Mike, which just I just got the impression that they just really didn't get along, and it's like it just doesn't seem like he cares, but apparently he does, and it's just like they didn't really portray that much. They didn't have as much interaction as I'd like them to have in the film.
Yeah, this is where, like, the film's lack of focus, like, towards certain plot points really tends to shoot it in the foot. Like, this definitely could have been way more developed if it had, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe, like, even 5 minutes of, like, screen time. Like, this would have been perfectly fine, but for some reason they just, like, completely gloss over it. Not skip it, but, like, just gloss over it. Don't really give it too much focus.
Like, all we got was just, you know, Mike's a bit of a twat to his sister, and she has imaginary friends. That's basically it.
True, but he does say a line that's quite scathing as well. Where it's like, I do have friends, well, at least I'm real.
Yeah, I was like, oh. It's like, fucking hell, like, Jesus, dude.
That's definitely something that an older brother would say to their younger sibling, 100%. I have said some very, very cruel shit to my siblings, and they've said some very cruel shit to me, so they've established the sibling dynamic quite well. Like a Lilo and Stitch kind of vibe going, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, so then we get the first of Mike's dream where he's going back to memory lane because his younger brother was taken from him.
He has to use nature sounds to give himself the dreams and stuff.
And a poster.
Yeah, which he probably figured out through like his dream theory book. So nice attention to detail there.
I mean, I want to point out that you clearly hear Mike's mum telling him to keep an eye on Garrett, the brother. But the moment a frisbee was nearby, Mike went, "Ooh, frisbee."
Look, I mean, for kids, that's definitely like realistic, where they're very, very easily distracted.
I know, but he looked away for a second, and Garrett was in that car and being driven away. Like, what happened in that time frame?
But it's like you do have to keep in mind where dreams will not play out like the exact timing and stuff. For all we know, Mike could have been told to, you know, take care of Garrett, and he probably would have walked off for like maybe 2 to 5 minutes. And then when he finally saw his brother again, he was being kidnapped. Like, the dream sequence is short because dreams tend to like shorten stuff. Like, I've had dreams of stuff that happened in the past, and I can tell you with absolute confidence that like it didn't happen in the same time frame. You know what I mean? So I'm willing to give the I'll defend the film there. Like, dream sequences are short for a reason. It's to like make the dream sequence more impactful. And it's basically like, here's what's happened, here's the stuff, okay, let's move on. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. But the next day comes and we get the arguably the worst character in the film, the aunt.
Ah, yes.
I did not like the aunt whatsoever.
She is just Saturday morning villain. Like, she might like Cinderella's evil stepmom vibes, you know? I don't
even think the stepmother is that cartoonishly evil.
A Karen with power, with authority.
But it's like, what I found interesting about the stuff is that like she's doing textbook manipulation stuff that nobody in their right mind would fall for. And I think even the film knows that. With even the head principal, I think that's who they're talking to, and also the lawyer as well. They're just looking at her like, are you insane? Like, what's... I'm not believing a single word you're saying right now.
Dude, her lawyer, like...
How did he get a job?
The way her and her lawyer act is literally like the witch and the dumbass sidekick so she can have someone to bounce off in a cartoon.
Yeah, you know what the dynamic reminds me of? Have you guys ever seen the Disney movie The Rescuers?
Yes.
Yeah, so Z, you know the characters I'm talking about, right? Like the crazy woman and the weird sidekick.
Yes. With the... that they live in the fucking boat?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
It just reminds me of Dr. Kelso and Ted from Scrubs. But, you know, compared to this guy, Ted is actually a competent lawyer.
Yeah, I'd say that the thing about the lawyer is that he's just too dumb in this film. Because I feel like even the writers had no idea what they wanted to do with him.
But don't put him in there!
Yeah, like, there's really no point of the lawyer even being there, to be honest. Like, I think it's like halfway through the film, he's just kind of forgotten about. We never see him again. You know,
like to be fair to the aunt, she does bring up at least a good point. And that, you know, Mike has had a bad employment history, and he did assault a guy, which isn't a good look a guardian should have. And it is a fair point to bring up, but the teacher sides with Mike, and it's like, not being funny, but he did beat up a guy. You know, he lost a job because of it.
I think it's mainly because I think it's like the teacher just took like one look at Mike and just went like, okay, Mike is clearly going through some stuff, so I'll at least hear him out. I feel like there's definitely, like, like, be in the principal's shoes for a second. If you saw the aunt talking shit about this one delinquent, and you look at Mike, you're like, okay, there's definitely some build up to this. You know what I mean?
Mike and the teacher have a chat. Mike's like, nah, I can't raise a kid. And teacher's like, no, you can. She's fine. You know, your sister's not crazy, but you know, you are the center in all of her drawings because Abby does draw a lot. And you know, it's like, yeah, she looks up to Mike, but we don't really see that, do we? Because they're just at each other's throats.
Yeah, I did appreciate the scene, like, for definitely like humanizing Mike a lot more. And definitely, like, establishing the relationship, like, that he has with Abby pretty early on. And I do appreciate the teacher even going off and saying, like, oh yeah, like, the reason why she draws so much is that, like, kids her age are able to establish emotions through drawings more than they can with words. And I thought it was quite cute. I thought it was very wholesome.
Fair enough, but hard cut back to the house, and Mike says fuck it, gives Steve a call for the night shift job, and as Mike is, like, you know, going to Freddy's, but that's what Steve is like giving the whole detail of the job, and it's like he knows a lot more about the job than a work coach should. Like, he's given all of the details about everything, about what, like, you know, you shouldn't do. Is like, oh, there's a breaker in your office and stuff. It's like, buddy, you are the work coach. You should not know this stuff.
Mike's just like, I just need a job, bro. I don't fucking care how suspicious you're acting. Speaking of suspicion, Matthew Lillard's acting in this movie, my fucking goodness, he does not hide the fact that he's the main villain whatsoever.
I know.
It's so on the nose.
He really can't hide it.
And, like, you hear him talk about this kind of stuff, it's like, dude, are you trying to fucking kill me or something? Like, I wouldn't trust this guy to give me a cup of coffee, let alone, like, give me a job.
Guy, the owner, he didn't want to let it go, you know?
For sentimental reasons, like, okay, alright.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that it was plastered all over the internet that he was the main villain of the movie as well. It doesn't really help.
Admittedly, I actually didn't know about that.
There was memes.
The whole meme was that, like, oh my god, Shaggy Rogers is William Afton.
I somehow avoided the memes.
How?
I don't know. I just avoided the memes.
What type of rock did you live under?
A good one, apparently. But yeah, so Mike goes to the place, turns on the power, looks through the cameras. The only time he actually looks through the cameras, and he sees a VHS with his name on it, and he doesn't question it. He's just like, "What? Oh well," puts it in.
Oh, before we get to this point, at this point, I feel like there would have been a missed opportunity. Phone guy
Was just basically Steve telling him. That was like the shtick that he was going through, like the little montage of him going through what he needed to do while he was explaining to it. Like, that was the whole shtick. But oh my god,
He didn't have for it to do his whole shtick.
but it would have been hilarious to have Phone Guy. Phone Guy was like one of the whole reasons of having lore in the first game. Like, that was your only source, basically, like, that would tell you about some lore, that they act a little quirky at night.
I mean, when Mike does call Steve, he does answer with hello, like, in the similar Phone Guy style voice. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, like if that was like, hey, quick nudge reference.
You know, like the introductory tape that Mike puts into the TV, which has the woman pop up going like, "Hi, welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's." Well, not Five Nights at Freddy's, welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Did I say Five Nights at Freddy's? Welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's. You're gonna die. Anyway, sorry. Fuck.
Thank you for buying this Steam game.
I wanted to talk about the introductory tape. To bring up your point, Eddie, about why didn't they add Phone Guy, I think this introductory tape was the replacement for Phone Guy, because yes, it works in like, Phone Guy works in a game where you're looking around the cameras and you're having the voice playing, yeah, and you're hearing the voice of him, like, in the back of your head. You're like, okay, so here's the stuff's going on. In a movie, that would be very boring. So to have the introductory tape and like even go into a little bit of the backstory to the restaurant, the the big, like, the revolutionary technology and all this kind of stuff, it definitely works better for a film. And I feel like at the end of the day, that was the best call to make, because with the introductory tape, they were even able to introduce elements of the horror by having the screen glitch when the animatronics showed up, which you can't really do in a phone call.
I want to point out, during that screen glitch, for a split second, blink and you miss it, Freddy's face was there dead center, and I don't know if that was like a possible "it's me" reference that the first FNaF game did.
I mean, they do still the whole "it's me" reference in the reflections and written in dust. It's me. That's like that is plain and simple right there.
Only problem is they don't do anything with that, and it's just more of a visual Easter egg when Mike never notices.
Yeah, I didn't like. I thought when I saw that, I was like, oh, it's the Fred Bear or the Golden Bear, things like that. But
It's the Golden Bear.
I will say though, after that, when Mike was getting used a bit, the Balloon Boy jump scare, that made me laugh.
I actually jumped.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I jumped as well with the Balloon Boy stuff. And like, my god, Balloon Boy is fucking ugly in this movie.
Like, who?
They made him an absolute goblin. Like, ew, you disgusting decrepit child. I would see you in fucking Chernobyl. Like, holy shit, you're so ugly.
I didn't jump at the Balloon Boy jump scare, but just Mike going, oh, and just turning him away was really funny to me.
Yeah, I will say that. He did it like twice in the film, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yup.
But that's when he gets his vests, and then Mike has a walk around, finds the animatronics, and I gotta the animatronics look fucking great in this film. They look excellent.
Bro, like, the actual amount of effort that went into making the... It's like, what... Like, the amount of effort they fucking took to make these animatronics look as close to the game is phenomenal. Like, these animatronics look fantastic. Perfect. Look exactly like they pop straight out of the games. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, and this is why practical effects will never die, because just there, right there, they look so fucking good.
Oh yeah, it's like you even see them like looking a bit like weathered and a bit aged and stuff, which is all great. And like that's just something you cannot achieve through CGI. Like seeing them, like having the idea of like the animatronics being right there with the camera is like infinitely more creepy than it was. Oh, the guy's looking at a green screen. You know what I mean? It's really good shit.
And that's just when you just see them when they're not moving. Like, even just static, you can just tell that a lot of care was put into them.
You're like, oh, the scenes with them is gonna be great.
And then we got to Mike sleeping on the job.
I mean, would you not as well?
I've done night shifts. I've done night security.
there you go. He's gonna say,
I never sleep because I was a very responsible boy. Yes.
Listen. I wouldn't do it on the first night of the job, okay?
It's the first night, and to be fair, I don't think he was planning to fall asleep. I think he just got bored and tired because,
Yeah, and I think it's also, to be fair, this restaurant is abandoned. I don't think there's going to be much activity in this place besides some heroin addicts outside, which is not going to be a big problem, to be honest, like.
No, but it would still be his responsibility to make sure they get away from the place.
Yeah, I suppose, but even still.
He is, after all, security. That is the security man's job.
Mike just has this whole thing where, like, he just looks constantly dead and tired throughout the film. He looks like he's just gonna, like, go into a coma at any minute. So I don't blame him.
I mean, he did say it. He can't do nights. He did say because he couldn't do it mainly because of his sister. But at the same time, like, he was just dead asleep. Like, he fell asleep fairly quick, too. Just like... And he didn't have his Nebraska poster. He didn't have nothing. All he had was his a little cartridge and player. It's like, boom, he knocked out. He knocked out quicker than I did on a regular night. All right.
He didn't even have that. on his first night.
Oh yeah, you are absolutely right. That was on the second night. On the first night, he just rested his head.
But anyway, so like he does a shit. He in his second dream sequence. There's 5 kids there.
Yes, the dream extends. Yep, it's getting its first DLC patch.
It got a content update.
Yeah, for real. The patch update is like, man, this stuff's getting weird. This gets getting insane. Yeah.
When Mike falls asleep, he just sees version 1.0.1.
To access the file, you must go beep boop ba ba da ba ba da ba da beep on the fucking computer.
When he tries to talk to the kids, they run away. He tries to chase after him, but then he falls off his chair. Then he gets home. Then we go to the diner with the Matt Pat cameo.
Ah, yes. I watched even a little bit of Matt Pat's video, and yeah, Scott, he put a lot of thought into Matt Pat's cameo, even going as far as to give him a name tag, which is Ness. And I'm like, I don't know, that's just cute. It's cute. I love it. I understand. I like, look, I'm like, the main question I'm having with the diner is like, if you guys aren't going to eat there, why are you discussing this in a diner? You could just discuss this in like a park or something. But having Matt Pat come up going like, lunch is the best, is like considered one of the finest meals of the day, but that's just a theory. Is like, look, I have an ice cold dead heart. I don't know what it's like to feel joy. But even with that scene, I'm like, aw, that's sweet. Yeah. This is coming from someone that didn't like Sonic 2 or the Mario movie.
And I got so giggly when he said it was just a theory. I was like, he did it. He got it.
He slipped it in. It's so cute. I love it. My man, I'm so proud of him.
I didn't like it, but like my nose literally says,
God, you heartless hack. Have joy.
In context of the scene, yeah, it wasn't a good look.
Oh yeah, in context, it's fucking stupid, right? But like, my God, come on.
Like, yeah, it's great. It's great. It's good to have him.
I probably would have enjoyed it more if the aunt wasn't there.
You wouldn't have enjoyed it either way. In some parallel universe, if the aunt wasn't in the movie, you'd be like, I hated this scene anyways because I hate Matt Pat in the hole.
Hey, I never said I hated Matt Pat. So this is when we get a twist that Max was working for Mike's aunt. For some fucking reason, she was working for her.
Trying to gather like dirt on Mike for any mistreatment of Abby.
Yeah, and just like the way the aunt was like describing it, like she was expecting Max to find out. It's like, oh yeah, he does a lot of things. He has a knife that he masturbates to, and it's like, just like what was she expecting Max to find, And Doug, just like the actual sane one there, is like, I shouldn't be here for this.
Yeah, this is Doug says that right after one of the people goes like, why don't we just kill him?
Yeah, they said that. Why? Like,
why are you saying this? Why don't we just kill him in a public diner?
And the best part is the aunt is like, tempting. Like, what?
It's like, okay, like, how cartoonishly evil do you have to be? Like, come on, really?
Like, all the aunt needed was a fucking cat on her lap for her to stroke. I fucking swear.
Actual Bond villain like dialogue, I swear.
and what? I don't know who the guy was in relation to Max. Like, maybe they were siblings or something, or like husband and wife. They never elaborated further on it. It was just like, they knew each other well. And it's like, whoa, Mike's got a job, so why don't we just get him fired from the job? We'll go trash the place, and then, there you go. You can prove that to the judge.
For a nifty price of $2,000.
No, you say $2,000, but the aunt convinced him down to $1,000. But then we have like admittedly a little cute interaction between Mike and Abby, where like Abby's wearing the vest, and he's like, and he carries her to her room to get the vest back. Like I thought that was a bit cute.
And Mike is immediately going into action with tearing off the poster on the ceiling, which he's going to, in a later scene, put in the pizzeria to see if his dream theory comes true.
He had the dream on his first night on the job without the cassette player. and without the poster. So why do you need them?
It gives him a sense of familiarity to think that a sense of consistency is happening in the dreams.
Yeah, precisely. Like, he's trying to build up all the stuff he's familiar with together to try get a full image. To be fair, in the film, it makes sense.
Fair enough. But we're in the third dream sequence. This is where we get a better look at the kids. Which I don't know if you noticed, but most of them, they have a little bit of item on them, which signifies which animatronic they are. And there's just one kid with just a top hat that's way too fucking big for him, so he has to wear it so it dangles off the back of his head. Which I don't know. I think the idea of just him being threatening when it covered his eyes would have been really fucking funny, and I wish they did that. The kids run away, and he chases the one with the hook hand, which basically the kid that possesses Foxy. So the kid whacks him in the arm. So and it's like did Foxy attack him? And if so, given the size of his hook, you'd think that would do a bit more damage.
And it also calls into question, why did Foxy just slash him and then leave him alone? Why didn't he just kill him?
He had every opportunity.
When Mike wakes up, the power goes AWOL, so he has to reset the generator. Foxy is at the door, looking at him. He resets the generator, and he's back on stage.
Well, to be fair, he wasn't, like, looking at Mike. He was, doing the whole, like, he was watching him from a distance.
But he was still there. And those animatronics are loud. How did he get back to the stage undetected? How did we not hear it?
Yeah, because, like, the big thing about Foxy is that his footsteps are always, like, really fucking loud.
Yeah, because there's no padding on them.
Yeah, we also had a quick little jump cut with the It's Me on a mirror of dust. I just love to imagine that, like, because obviously they try to build up suspense, so obviously they won't have, like, Foxy's, like, super loud, like, fucking... as he gets back. But, like, I just feel like it'd be so funny. As he's, like, turning back on the generator, you just go, like...
Just like Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy are just looking at Fox like, really, dude?
He like knocks over a table and you hear Fazbear like, hor, 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 hor. Also, by the way, to any of you, if you saw Freddy for the first time and you went, hor, 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 I just want to let you know, you're valid and I love you. You continue to be cringe but free.
So Mike turns on the power, and this is where we meet Vanessa.
Yes, character.
You know, she basically invites herself in and explains that she knows a lot about the place because it's on her beat. Which begs the question, why bother with a security guard then?
Because the police officer, like, just can't stay there overnight. Vanessa still has, like, jobs to do.
But she stayed there overnight.
She was free. She was free on that one specific night. Look, I understand it's plot convenience, like, that's still dumb, but yeah.
But she was on duty either way. She has her radio on her. If she didn't get radioed in to go into a scene or anything, then she's all right, you know? Just as long as she's, like, attentive to what she needs to do first, like, she can do that. There is a future scene that she just like, oh, somebody's calling, like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, that's true. I also like this is like the first scene where where like Mike notices that he's bleeding. It's like, you literally just got slashed by a hook, dude. That's got to hurt. I don't care how high on sleeping pills you're on, like, that shit would really, really hurt. You wouldn't at least feel the blood or something? Like,
it was bleeding from both ends as well, I noticed.
Oh yeah, like it's a very nasty cut.
But it's a casually bro, so I was like, oh yeah, you're bleeding, mate. It's like, wait, what? So then, like, Vanessa turns on everything. Everything works, despite it being a rundown place since the 80s. Like, all of the arcade machines just miraculously work, and it's like, what?
I wouldn't think all of them would still be pristine if it's abandoned, though.
They all work as if the place has never been abandoned.
Yeah, I will admit that's a little bit dumb. It's like, okay, I will say this right now, like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Vanessa's character in this film, with the stuff that she does. When we get to later scenes, I'll elaborate, but, like, I'll just put a little seed in the ground there for a second. And when we get to better scenes, I'll elaborate on my argument as to why I don't like Vanessa too much.
It was just the part that weirded me out.
She's hot, though.
It was just the part where the part that weirded me out, where it's like, you know, the animatronics are just there doing their bit, and then it's like, so you want to dance? It's like, Mike is still on the job, you know. He really should be watching those cameras.
And that's when you see the animatronics move about, and oh my god, they look so good!
They do really
Yeah,
good.
they do.
They look amazing! Oh, they're fantastic. Foxy had like 6 puppeteers to like actually control them, and my god, they did an amazing job.
Really? 6 puppeteers?
Yeah, it required like 6 puppeteers to move Foxy around, and my goodness, Jim Henson does not disappoint!
How long did that take to, like, choreograph that stuff?
We don't know, but apparently there was like, according to the behind-the-scenes stuff, one of Foxy's arms like combusted and caught fire, and it's like, well, that's cursed.
Nah, my favorite little behind the scenes thing is that they confirmed and said that some of the the animatronics moved by themselves. But here's the thing, right? One of those animatronics is an actual animatronic. Hence, it's only Foxy being the only animatronic. The other 3 are fucking suits. So, yikes on that one.
I'd honestly like to imagine that was just someone just fucking with the crew.
They fucking activated one of Foxy's wires that just made him like jitter a little bit, and everyone's like,
Nah, just like, everyone's like, all right, we're done filming for the day. Let's come back tomorrow. And the last guy's like, okay, they're gone. All right, let me just make this adjustment, and there we go.
If that's what it turns out to be, I wouldn't put it past them. I'd probably do that too.
bro, with a fucking story like Five Nights at Freddy's, you know that there had to have been some pranks on set revolving around the animatronics.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
There's definitely somebody in like the fucking Freddy suit just popped up beside like one of the actors, just went boom. Or like they just got Foxy. It's like, oh, I don't know what he did. He just combusted. I don't know. He just they activate his fucking voice box like when I don't know, like the lights go off and someone just mumbles in the background. But
goes the thing. So we cut to the morning, and this is important to know. Vanessa watches Mike lock up the pizzeria. She watches him lock it up, and that's important for a bit that happens just a bit later. But Max's, I'm just gonna fucking assume brother, calls her up, says like, when he gets back, come to the pizzeria. The 3 break in, because Max stays outside. The moment they open the door, the cameras turn on, like the monitor displaying the cameras turn on, and the animatronics, I guess, have their own intruder detection, because like the moment they start, it's like, all right, we're waking up now.
I mean, to be fair, like Foxy already established that with Mike. Yeah, so the animatronics have proven themselves to be sentient.
But Mike turned on the power, at least. You can kind of explain that.
Robots with dead children. I don't expect the plot to be very, very consistent with that.
So one of the dudes is in the kitchen tearing shit up. He hears moving in the fridge, sees the cupcake. For some reason, the cupcake was able to get in there.
Yeah, how did the cupcake get in there without being seen? Or even heard? Well, he was heard the fucking, fridge door slam, but, even so, I was like, huh? How? What the fuck?
I want to know, how is the because it was never, confirmed or denied if the cupcake was actually, a sentient... It wasn't until FNaF 4 that you could actually die by the cupcake. But, those are, phantom animatronics, or nightmare animatronics, sorry. So that's, its own thing. Is the cupcake possessed by another child?
Well, there was 5 children in the flashback, so I just think it's really funny that everyone gets all right, this kid gets Bonnie, this kid gets Freddy, this kid gets Foxy. I don't like you. You get the cupcake. You're reduced to the dog.
But there were 5 children in the first FNaF game anyway, and the cupcake never did anything.
Yeah, because the 5th child was Golden Freddy, who, spoilers, is in the movie. So I don't know, what's the whole thing with the cupcake? Is the cupcake possessed by a child? I don't know. Did Afton just one day decide to go on another adventure and I don't know, kill a dog or something? Because the cupcake acts very dog-like, yeah. And also, it's I just love, I always appreciate this about, cheap horror movies, or, not cheap horror movies, but, cheesy horror movies, where we have these monsters that are very early on established they can make lots of fucking racket, and somehow the cupcake was able to leave the fridge, go around the guy, get up on Chica's hand, without a single sound, and I'm like, what? That makes no fucking sense. And it's Chica popped up hello. It's how did you not hear him first? What?
And this is also where we start. I think this is when Red Eyes start.
It's Orange Eyes, specifically.
Oh, Orange Eyes, my bad. But The thing that everyone hated in the fucking trailers, without even knowing why the eyes changed color.
Exactly. It's like I was saying that, like, okay, guys, come on. It's one, it's a movie. Two, it's the first movie. It's like, okay, like these animatronics are doing things that are like to most it's not regular, you know? And when they become the whole red eyes thing, like one of the reasons is that they're defending the pizzeria, you know? They are defending what's theirs. Like Chica is in the kitchen. That's her place. That's her spot. So, of course, she's going to defend it. And I want to also add that they really pushed it with the cupcake jumping on the guy's face and ravaging it. They really pushed the PG-13 right there. They really pushed it there.
I think it's like the cupcake jump scare is also, I think it's like the only instance where you see like any kind of CGI relating to the animatronics. Because there's no way they could have done that practically. Like
it is, but to be fair, it is so fast you really don't notice it that much.
You barely notice it, yeah. But yeah, the cupcake like ravaging the guy's face is like, damn, that's pretty gnarly.
It's also just like the other guy just like looks in the kitchen, sees it, and then Chica's like over, is like, oh hello. So one dude being, you know, death by cupcake. Another one runs away
on the cameras, which is quite funny.
Yeah, Max's brother sees it and is like, oh man, what the hell? And he hides in a cupboard that I'm convinced was empty when we saw it empty when he ran in, but then Bonnie was just magically in there. How cramped was it in there to not only have a big animatronic, a dude, and at least a camera guy in there, because that looked claustrophobic as hell.
Me, I just love the memes of that scene. It's like, I'm feeling romantical today. I'm feeling romantical tonight. Like, bing! This just get murdered. Just like got mollywopped in there.
So yeah, this shows that like the animatronics can kill. So why did the night guard from before go through the process of the Freddy mask when he just could have died by them?
And like yeah, seeing Bonnie like walk out of the wardrobe and like the camera pans up and you see him, it's like, not gonna lie, that was really well done. Like Bonnie looks really fucking creepy. And Max's brother sees that, runs like hell back into the office. And a really cool shot of just Bonnie and Chica staring at the camera.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was like a nod to the game, honestly. Like them looking at the camera. And then she's like, Nick, just like sending out the cupcake. Like, we know you in there.
I love the reaction cut to the guy to hide the cupcake going into the vent, because they probably couldn't show the cupcake going into the vent because it doesn't have any moving parts. It's like she bends over, his face, look back, cupcake's not there. And you know, the cupcake tries to attack the vent. It gives up after like 5 seconds.
And it also shows that the vent was never closed after the first night guard's death. So that's a nice little bit of continuity in the film, which I will give it credit for.
Yeah, but that's really like, you know, only if you notice sort of thing.
Yeah, you know, small details like that are still fine.
But then after that, we cut to Max, who's realized that, you know, man, these guys who vandalize, taking a long time to vandalize, goes in, sees a child, doesn't question the child, but decides to follow him, and she gets taken into like this sort of like back room. I noticed that there was an animatronic with a dog collar.
That's Sparky.
Yeah, I was about to say a reference to Sparky the dog, but Sparky never had a dog collar.
I'm guessing it's mostly because of like the hints of like, oh, remember Sparky from the first game? That was just a legend. Like, instead of like having the suit, because the suit basically looks like a Freddy body. It just looks like his another body of his. But adding the dog tag showed that, and they've gone through a little bit of a redesign and all that. So having Sparky there would really give a nod. And also the doll that was there as well on the floor is a nod to the books in the future as well.
There's a lot of hidden lore in this film. A lot of little nods.
Well, Sparky isn't lore. Sparky was literally just like a fake leak.
An urban legend. He's an urban legend, basically.
Ah, I see. Okay.
And Max, so Max sees Freddy, thinks the kid is in Freddy for some reason, and she goes to investigate. And yeah, I was expecting Freddy to go forward and chomp, but no, kid just grabs Max and somehow has the strength to just pull her in Freddy. He chomps her in half, but there's no way that those teeth are sharp enough to cut a whole body in half.
So yeah, number one. Anybody who screamed was at the bite of 87. I love you. Number two. This is like this death perfectly highlights one of my main problems with the film. It's way too censored. We should have seen proper fucking gore from that. But no, it's only a shadow shot and a quick little cut to her lower body falling down. And that's what it's like. That's like what all the deaths are like in this film. There's barely any blood. And it's like, look, I understand that the film's like 15A, so they can't go like R-rated with the gore, and I understand that if Five Nights at Freddy's was a R-rated film, like no, it wouldn't make as much money as it did, because let's be honest, like 90% of the fan base is children. But I don't know, with a franchise like FNaF, the deaths should have been more violent. I'm sorry, but they should have. We should have seen a lot more blood than what we got.
Especially in the movie, understandable. Supposedly there is an R-rated incoming, so I would love to see that. But to be fair, to a degree, we haven't seen like any quote-unquote gore happening in the games either. Like the as least you can go is like the blood spewing out Springtrap, but that is an 8-bit. Springtrap's dead body.
But we did see like a gory death in FNAF 1. Like we saw that with like the security guard being stuffed inside Fazbear. You saw like a little bit of his eye falling out.
Yeah, but the thing is all his only his eyeballs are just sitting on the muzzle. That's about it. Like we don't see nothing much, and it's like on a screen that says game over. Like with a quick like press enter or click, you can just skip it, just like what happened in that scene. There's like, oh, but dead half a body, night of it got bitten in half. And let's go to the next scene. Like honestly, to a degree, there wasn't much gore that happened in the FNaF movies. I mean games. My bad.
I don't know. I just feel like the film was definitely held back with how much they censored the deaths. I feel like they could have just been like a bit more violent, to be honest. Like these are big animatronics, and these animatronics are capable of doing tremendous amounts of damage. Show us it, please.
Also, my biggest problem with it is that it's just not that scary. Like for a horror film, it's just not that scary at all. And I'm someone who doesn't like horror. Like I'm not as big into horror films or games as one would think. I can get scared quite easily, but I just wasn't scared at all.
Yeah, the film does kind of forget that it's a horror film for 3/4 of the runtime, which I found to be a bit annoying.
So we get a bit more interaction between Mike and Vanessa. Abby, yeah, sorry. And it's like she sees the court order forms that the aunt gave Mike, and Mike's like, no, you're very important to me. It's like I kind of wish we saw more of that to be a bit more believable. But then Vanessa comes to the door, and for some reason she knew where Mike lived.
She's a police officer. She probably got like his address or something. She's a police officer. Look, she's a police officer, and spoiler alert, related to the villain. So
he did get served some papers because of the notice that happened. And you think that wasn't going to be shown like in the police department, like, hey, this security officer beat the living shit out of this person, out of a person and all that. And not only that, like the only reason why that they showed how she knows it was because he left his medicine bottle in the pizzeria that gives his address and name.
Fair point, but it's like, was that the only thing they found? Because like of all of the vandalized stuff, the office was the one spot that wasn't vandalized as much. Like Also, who investigated Freddy's and why? Like, who called the police on the vandalization? Because the place is meant to be abandoned. Like, did no one go there?
Again, Vanessa, that's her area, and she's constantly checking.
Yeah, she's constantly checking the pizzeria. She most likely would have seen it.
By her looking at the front entrance or the area, she's going to be like, oh, I got to check this place out. Oh, things happen. And she even states that this hasn't been in papers yet. So she hasn't told the police department what happened over there. She explains that. She didn't take it to her higher-ups yet. She still has that in secret.
But there are still some problems here because Vanessa saw Mike lock up Freddy's, and she watched him lock up, and those guys went in through the side. They didn't go in through the front. So if Vanessa was the one who went to investigate, she would have seen the front was still locked, which means that the side wouldn't have been any sort of concern at all. Like there's no way she could have. Because she gives Mike a warning saying if you were doped up on meds and that's why you didn't think to lock up, you will be like arrested for a negligence. It's like you saw him lock up and you saw that the side entrance wasn't there at all. So how can you pin that blame on him when the side entrance wasn't even touched?
I found that very unreasonable.
So again, to bring back what you said in the past as well, is that his job is to check the surroundings and take care of the pizzeria. Maybe she's just pinning that on him because he didn't check those areas that could be easily an entryway for whoever wants to go in. Like, he is a security guard. He has to maintain the area and watch over to avoid people coming in. Maybe because of her seeing him taking those sleeping pills and not actually doing his job, looking at the areas and checking it out, making sure nothing is open or anything. Maybe that's why she's pinning him for it.
But to raise an objection to that, if she saw him lock up, then she would have said oh, don't forget to check that side door, or don't forget to check all the other doors, because she was there until his shift was over.
That's not her job. That's his job.
Well, no, but it doesn't really hurt to remind someone of their job, especially if it's part of their job. Like, I've worked with other departments, and I will say hey, have you done that yet? Because that is their job, and if they haven't done it, they're not doing their fucking job. Anyway, Mike and Vanessa have a talk, and for some reason, Mike just fully opens up to Vanessa. He only met her once, and just opens his heart out for her to listen. It's like, why are you telling her? You're admitting you're sleeping on the job.
They found out that they were 50 minutes into the film, and they're like, oh shit, we gotta make sure that these two have a connection somehow. Tragic backstory.
It's like he's literally admitting to a police officer, yes, I am sleeping on the job.
It's like one of those game deciding decisions where it's if you pick one, it would have entirely changed the outcome. That's what it felt like.
So Mike tries to call Max. Max doesn't respond because, of course, she's fucking dead. He doesn't know that. So he takes Abby to work.
Well, can I just say quickly, Vanessa's giving him, the nice little pep talk about everything, and then just throws away his meds into the river. And I'm like, Vanessa, what the fuck? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? It's like, hey, yo, what the fuck? Stop sleeping on the job. It's like, okay, I kind of need those, bro. I'm gonna be going through some severe psychosis, bro. What the hell? I can't just go cold turkey like that, Vanessa. What the hell?
This just brings up a point in the movie. It's everyone just preys on Mike's downfall at this point. Everything just goes down to him.
The story does not give Mike a single fucking break.
So Mike takes Vanessa to work with him. Security risk.
Abby.
Because I said Vanessa again, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Fuck's sake. You know what? Fuck it. Mike took Vanessa Jr. to the pizzeria because Max wasn't picking up a phone.
My brother in Christ.
He sets up a little tenting area for her. Kind of cute. He falls asleep while his sister's there.
Come on!
Sleeping on the job is one thing. Sleeping while your sister's there, that's kind of worse. But also, backtrack a bit. I've got to point something out. You cannot convince me.
Here we go. I think I already know what he's going.
You.
All right, Z. Get your defenses ready. Let's get a.
Cannot convince me.
Here we go.
Here we go.
That he cleaned up
There
that
we
entire
go.
place in
Here
one
we go.
fucking night with time to spare to sleep.
There we go. There we
You
go.
cannot convince me that just him cleaned up that entire fucking... You saw the state of that fucking Pizzaplex. You cannot convince me he did that on his own. No shot.
Here I go. All right, everybody. Here I come. All right. So, to be fair,
Z, before you counter-argue, I have worked as a night porter and I've cleaned up weddings. Try me.
Just to set the stage real quick.
you're slow as hell. All right, here we go. So what happened was that what was shown in the scene in that mini montage that he cleaned basically the kitchen, where it was just like lifting up the little grid, putting the boxes up top. Okay. He mopped the floors. Okay. In the main stage, he swept and put up the chairs and all that on top of the other chairs and organized it. He cleaned the glass from the arcade machines, which is funny that later in the movie they still work and turn on and sound and everything. He lifted up the coin machine. They didn't break the arcade area. They didn't went over there, so he didn't need to do anything over there. He didn't clean or do anything in the where the suits are at or anything, because that wasn't shown. And he did all that in 3 hours because he went to sleep at 3 o'clock.
It was 4 o'clock actually, but yeah.
Oh, there we go. Even better. 4 hours it took him to do that. It took him like 4 hours to clean just basically 2 areas, which was the kitchen by sweeping and mopping it and putting the boxes up, because they didn't break anything or did anything much in there, because that's where the whole shit show happened. But he did fix and put up the coin machine, cleaned up the middle area where all that shit happened. He did see there was a little bit of blood in the broom room. He got all the utensils and everything that he needed from there and from the others, and cleaned and spiffy everything up in 4 hours. And he knew what he was doing, you know, and they really saw that. They were like, wow, this man is really fixing this place up. We're going to treat him right. We're going to treat him right. You know?
Yeah, he does an honest job. He gets a break, finally.
And he didn't take any medicine or anything. He was just tired after 4 hours of doing all that shit. So after 4 hours, he just like got pooped up, you know? Those 4 hours went on like the main area and the main stage. That's all that happened there. It happened all there. That's the 4 hours. It took him like what, 45 minutes or 30 minutes to like do that in the kitchen. Yeah, whatever you did over there at a wedding place, nah, it's nothing compared to this small little area of a pizza place. All right. So
Z, those weddings have 2 of us clean up after, and they've been way less messy than what those vandals did to that fucking pizzeria. It takes us roughly 4 to 5 hours on just 2 of us.
damn, y'all, they need to you need to pick up your game.
You were about to say they need to fire you, didn't you? But you realized that Tommy was already fired.
I quit. I voluntarily quit. Excuse me.
You couldn't handle it. See, that's why you couldn't last.
If I explain why I quit, they will actually sue me. I still have that threatening lawsuit letter.
Alright, yeah. We have gotten completely off track. Let's get back to the film. While this was going on, the door opens into the security room, and something's going to get Abby. And we find out later on that it was an animatronic that got Abby's attention. But we don't see the reaction to it just yet, because we have another little cute little dream montage.
I'm still bothered by the fact that Mike fell asleep while his sister's there, because, like, the fact that someone went in to talk to Abby, if that was, like, anyone else, if that was someone that actually broke into the pizzeria, and, you know, they could have just taken Abby then and there, and Mike would never know.
Yeah, it would have happened again. I thought the same thing.
But back with the fourth time we're in Mike's memories, and he somehow know that the 5 kids were the kids that went missing.
I mean, after seeing, like, some of the connections and stuff like that, he'd be like, okay, I'll give, like, a random guess.
He was piecing together his theory.
Like, when he started dreaming at the pizzeria is when they started invading his dreams and all that. And he's like, what the fuck? Are you the kids? Because that's where Vanessa already talked about, oh, there was some missing kids. Ooh.
Yeah, Vanessa, like, foreshadowed that, like, something happened in the pizzeria, yeah. Was that later on? Was that later in the film, or was that earlier in the film?
I think it was around when they were at the river talking.
Right, okay. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. That's it, yeah, so... Yeah, so from that, so with that knowledge in mind, Mike would have went like, okay, dead children, these children are in my dreams, okay, something's up. So yeah, so are you the kids?
Because that's when he explains to her, like, oh, I'm using these pills because I want to basically talk to the kids who are there and telling me what I need to know because I lost my little brother when I was young and all that. That's all happening in the conversation at the river.
So after that, Mike is woken up. He hears Abby screams. Instead of checking the cameras, which he would have seen what's going on, he runs to find the source. See, you say that, like, I think it was either you or Eddie that said, like, you know, it's like the animatronics see Mike clean up and think, like, it's like, oh, what a good thing. Freddy was about to kill him, but stopped when Abby said that he was her brother.
I mean, of course he was going to, because 1, he interrupted what they were doing, and 2, he came at them with a chair in his hand.
He only picked up the chair when Freddy approached him.
Freddy approaches Mike, and that's when he picks up the chair, and he's like acting like he basically is like screaming like, get away from her, and Freddy's just like, no.
And that's like when Abby says is like no, it's okay, like he's her brother. Freddy's like, oh, okay, I totally weren't about to kill you, but come in on the fun. And this is basically where it's revealed that Abby's friends were the animatronics, which are basically the dead children. She saw the ghosts of the kids the whole time.
It is as convoluted as the games, so...
Never fucking explained. And, like, the games do their own things. You kind of explain that stuff in the films.
Nah, they're keeping it real with the first game, like not explaining all the details, you know.
But it does raise some like questions, where it's like, why the hell is any of this possible? Like, what's going on? It does, like, this is where the film, while I said that the film does great at making sure that that non-fans can understand what's going on, sometimes it doesn't. Like, if we didn't have this knowledge that, you know, like, dead kids, ghosts, and shit like that, because that's revealed later on in the film, you would be so confused. You'd be like, okay, how the fuck does Abby have, like, ghost friends with these animatronics that she has never seen before? How does this make even a lick of sense? And it's like, yeah, that is completely fair enough. But this is where the film completely forgets that it's a horror film for a little bit.
Oh, fuck it. This is honestly my least favorite part of the film.
Oh, come on. What?
What?
Yeah, you are cold-hearted. You are an asshole.
That was cute. That part was cute.
Nah, you know why Tommy hates it? You really know why he hates it? Because they built a fort at night. That's why.
Chico winks at Abby. It's so cute.
I'm not that fucking pessy.
Yes,
no.
you are.
Look, Abby gives Bunny a drawing. It's so cute.
It's cute, but I was, you know, going into a horror film expecting horror.
Oh, excuse me for kids acting like kids. I'm sorry. Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
These kids are possessing
children.
Anyways,
They're-
after
they're-
all.
these are
all right,
kids.
fellas. Okay, so I was wrong. This doesn't happen like right afterwards. This is basically like that scene is for later. We will discuss that when we get there. But like the scene basically like ends with, you know, Abby saying like goodbye to all the animatronics. Lots of cute stuff happens. You know,
She gives him a heart. Like, here you go. Here's a little heart.
Gives Freddy a hug. That's all the cute shit. Again, showing off that the animatronics look really, really fucking impressive. Yep. So yeah, they leave for the night, and Mike sees the drawings that Abby's been making, and pieces 2 and 2 together, because the drawings contain features relating to the animatronics.
Yeah, it's the only time he actually pays attention to the drawings.
And he starts seeing them like everywhere, which is like, that's interesting.
He was taking the teacher's advice.
Paying more attention to what Abby's doing with the drawings, yeah.
To the teacher's advice, like 2 days after she said it.
Okay, to be fair. Alright,
to be
Tommy,
fair,
to be completely
he
fair.
looked at it
to
later.
be
Has
fair,
a lot
after
on
all
his
the shit
plate.
that's been going on, do you think that Mike would go like,
trying to look
I should
for a
probably
job.
be thinking about Abby right now, not the fact that I'm not getting a fucking job. Yeah, shut your bitch ass up.
Meanwhile, the aunt is just looming over.
Yeah, like when Mike talks to Abby about her friends, like he's just like, you could see in his eyes that he a part of him just doesn't want to believe it, and he's like questioning stuff.
Oh yeah, because like you just know that like this is something that you just, it sounds so insane that you don't even want to try and entertain it. But Mike at this point in the film is so desperate for answers, he's willing to take literally anything seriously. Which I do like, which I do think is quite cool.
I just like to imagine like when he's when he's just saying to Abby, was like, so about those robots, you mean my friends? Just like Mike's there, like, therapy's looking really good right now.
He's just like, okay, just go with it, just go with it. Just yes, Abby, your friends.
It's where he shows he shows that she did a drawing of Garrett in the car, and she only knew about it because her friends told her. What happened there? He's like, hi Abby, we're your friends. You have a dead brother, don't you know? Oh, it's great. The way he died.
Yeah, how do you piece that together?
I think this is where it's established that Mike isn't the only one that's been having these dreams. It's also been Abby. Abby's been
That
having
too.
like a different variation of dreams, which again, interesting. It definitely fits in with the wacky lore that was the games, and it's like adapting that very well. And yeah, it even calls into question like, oh, what has Abby been seeing? Because she doesn't know that like she had a younger brother until Mike told him. So for all we know, in her dreams, the kids were going like, yeah, somebody else got kidnapped, somebody else, all this kind of stuff. So it's interesting. I think it's quite cool.
I also have like another theory around this area as well, but I want to say this later as well.
All right, Pat, go ahead.
No, I don't want to say it now. I want to say it later.
No, I don't want to say. You think it's stupid.
Because it hits a little bit. There's like a lot more lore on this section, with more of the games and the books, because the movie is more on the parallel side with the books than with the games. Because again, the books say more of the lore than the games. If you want me to go on the tangent of it, I can tell you why.
Oh, if you want to, go ahead.
All right. So with the whole thing about the dream sequence, when it comes to Garrett getting taken away, and you see Mike just pouring himself, just constantly trying to get the details pieced together. You think that if you remember the soda falling, the color of the frisbee, the color and clothing, and small little details, even other people being surrounded in the park and everything, you could easily remember the license plate of the car that took your brother, because you're clearly looking at it. That's the parallel to what would happen with the first victim that happened with the games that they show. They show the first victim that happened. Like, again, if he can remember so many things that happened around him, he could easily remember a license plate of the car that took Garrett, you know? Going back into what with Abby with the drawings, if you look closer into her room and in with the lists of drawings that she has, she also has the drawing of the orange plane that Garrett had in the dreams. Exactly. Like, you can remember that. And you could actually say that this is all thought out, because even in that, I want to say, like, around that area, that gray area, is that they explain that, oh, mom didn't talk about your little brother, and neither did dad, because then I think it was like, oh, they couldn't handle it no more. And then after what happened with dad or mom, X and Y does, like, went behind them as well. Like, it kind of insinuates that they killed themselves as well.
I mean, it's also, I mean, that's fucked up if you think about it, right? It's like, you lose a child, you have another one, you still can't get over the trauma, so you take your own life. But you make sure to let the door know that she does have a dead older brother.
You just don't let them know, you know? But, like, there are some things. And with the lore of the books, it kind of insinuates, going back with the car scene, that it was all planned. And with Steve reacting to Smith, that's actually, like, pointing out, like, hey, Mike is son of this main character of the series, thus he killed himself in the books, and he was the business partner with said character as well, with Afton, you know? But this is like a huge lore dump right there, with going again with the parallels of the books.
It's a good it's a good idea in theory, but because the film just explains none of it, we have nothing to base that off, is the problem.
It's a good movie to start off with, like, showing new fans, but it's a movie that a lot of people that have grown with the movie and the series, better said, would understand. And if you're, like, caught up with the books and with the comics and all that, you could, like, piece a couple of things together and see, like, oh, this is that. And there's a lot more parallels that happen in the movie with the books again. That's why I always say that it goes more parallel with the books and comics than with the games itself.
I think this also raises a problem. It's like we come to a point where it's like we have to remember to the movie standpoint, this is supposed to be the first game of the movie, right?
Yeah, that is very true.
So they also got to remember, like, for the new fans, they're not supposed to get it the first time. So yeah, this is the gateway to it.
This is also, like, going to raise, like, an argument where I've made this kind of argument before in the past with Sonic 2 specifically, where there are some plot points in Sonic 2 that are explained in outside source material, like in the tie-in comics that came in, right? And the argument that I always made for that was, I should not have to read a comic book or consume another bit of media in order to understand this film. And like Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie, does kind of fall into that trap with like the dream stuff, like with all those theories that you said there, Z. Like, yeah, that's great that, like, they're doing stuff from the books, but you shouldn't have to know the books in order to, like, you know, see what's going on. Anyways, with that massive tangent all done and dusted, let's get back to the film.
So, another night at the pizzeria.
Vanessa's here. Hello.
Sorry, also I forgot to mention that Abby suggests that she could ask her friends about what happened to Garrett, like who took him and stuff.
Yeah.
Vanessa's there, and she's just like, oh, well, you found out about the animatronics, huh? Just like proper nonchalant, just like bring it up, it's like, okay, you know.
Yeah, she's also looking at the wall of drawings with the golden bunny in the center. That will be important for later.
Yeah, she has the biggest fucking deadpan stare when she stares at them.
Oh yeah, like the Vietnam flashbacks, like.
It begs the question, because, you know, obviously, you know, it's like revealed that she's like Afton's daughter, which I think it's been a thing since Security Breach, but it's like, what did she see as a child?
Oh, she must have seen, like, so much fucked up shit. I think it's like that's not even true with I think, like, again, I will do some quick research, because I have a friend who is, like, obsessed with FNaF, and she told me a plot change that they made to the film, so just give me a second. Vanessa was never Afton's daughter. This is solely a movie thing, and I will argue it works to the film's favor, because it gives Vanessa more of a role in the story, because in Security Breach, she was just, like, some random lady that Afton just, like, manipulated because he's Satan in this world. Of course it happens, but having the film change it so that Vanessa is related to Afton makes so much more sense as to why she's so on board with everything.
So let me go through the fort building montage.
It forgets it's a horror movie. Look, I understand that this scene basically adds fucking nothing to the movie. It could be completely cut out and nothing would change, but I thought it was cute. It's wholesome. And it reminds us that these animatronics are children. They are dead children and they're trying to reconnect. It's wholesome, it's cute, but it does drag on for a bit. I'll give you this, Tommy, I'll give you that. But I liked it. It gave me a nice fuzzy feeling in my little tum-tum.
I just want to know, given that they had to crawl into that little spot, how did the animatronics get there?
I don't know, like, fucking Bonnie falling down and, like, doing the thumbs up. I fucking love that scene. It was so funny.
Then you know, they're saying about getting a roof, Vanessa goes get tablecloths. This is like, I think it's like the second or third time that Mike points out or like asks Vanessa how she knows so much about the place, and she dodges the question, but like, you know, points out the flaw of bringing Abby to the pizzeria.
This is also the scene where they reveal the spring lock mechanisms in the old suits, which she demonstrates very quickly with a broom handle. And with this, I now get to finally talk about a thing that, like, why I didn't like Vanessa in this film.
Just one thing I want to say before you do, quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
With the whole concept of spring locks, we never saw what they look like. I never imagined them to look like that.
I'll be honest, me neither. That looks a little bit too ish.
But it's also difficult to explain how I envisioned them before. But like, I just never imagined that was the final thing. But you know, that like that's not a downside to the film. That's like, you know, different to how I pictured it. But anyway, your thing about Vanessa.
Yeah, the thing I don't like about Vanessa is that Vanessa is constantly trying to warn Mike about something throughout like the entirety of the film. But no matter how much Mike tries to press her on something, no matter how many times he asks what exactly she's talking about, no matter how many times she asks Vanessa to just give him a straight fucking answer, Vanessa never does it. She either turns into a brick wall and will not budge from anything, or she turns into a fucking cryptic who speaks in only riddles. This is like the one thing I despise about Vanessa's character. It requires her to be this cryptic, like, basically just, she has to be stupid for this plot to happen, right? Because all of this could just be explained with, oh yeah, by the way, I'm related to the guy, and kids are dying, and Abby's in trouble. There you go. Movie over. But they have to stretch it out so much that the entirety of the plot's narrative, that it gets to a point where it's like, Vanessa, will you just fucking tell him what's going on?
Maybe she's like, given the trauma she's had, given from her perspective, like she's too scared to tell him. To just tell him like, go away, I don't want you to have this from me. But yeah, it should have just said something.
But it's like, look, I understand like trauma's like a bitch, right? Like it can be like an easy scapegoat there for the narrative to do that. But again, I don't like this about like horror movies in general, where it's like, there's a character who clearly knows everything that's going on and can tell the character very, very easily of the things that are occurring in the story, but they just never do it, even when asked. Mike's like, tell me what's going on, and it's like, no, but you gotta leave. Why do I gotta leave? No, just leave. But he's gotta tell me, like, no.
Mike explains why he's you know, about how Abby is connected to the children, how they could like help find out who took Garrett. You know, like, and you know, his reason, like, he is basically using his sister, but Vanessa just tells him to just forget it.
Yeah, it's like, wait, what?
It's like, huh? Wow, I never thought of that. Thanks.
man, like, what? Why are people homeless? Just buy a house. Like, that's basically what Vanessa says. Like, oh, you're traumatized? Just forget it. Forget your trauma. You got depression? Cheer up. But then they sort of, for some reason, during this moment, Abby is dancing with the animatronics. It's like, whatever. But then for some reason, she felt the need to get on stage and try to strum Bonnie's guitar. And she has, like, a massive, like, electric shock. Health and safety be damned. I should also point out that, like, in my first watch, I went to the loo, so I skipped this part, and someone described, like, what I missed very, very poorly. Because I thought, I thought Abby touched the guitar and Bonnie got pissed and attacked her. No, she just tried to strum the guitar.
Imagine just like touch the guitar, Bonnie's like, grr, whole wheels it like a golf club, just goes, 4!
Mike Tyson punch out uppercuts, bro.
KO.
When I got back, Mike and Vanessa were arguing outside, and I thought it was like, oh, okay, so based on that description, Abby messed up with the animatronics now, hate her. No, not at all. But I fucking just like, after that, like, you know, Abby's fine. And we don't really see the animatronics, but I kind of just saw like a shot of them, like, oh fuck, did we do something? But then it just cuts outside, and Vanessa literally threatens to shoot Mike if he brought Abby back to the pizzeria.
Vanessa, just tell him why he can't. Just tell him why. My fucking goodness. You fucking stubborn bitch.
And just in case, you know, in case anyone who hasn't seen the film and listen to this first hasn't seen it yet, she literally says verbatim, if you bring Abby back here, I will shoot you. And it's like, all right, like...
Okay, damn, crazy bitch.
But that, and like, after that, like, you know, Mike sort of realizes, yeah, I really shouldn't bring Abby back here. So he does something responsible, and we get, like, I guess what has to be the, what is it called? The third act argument. And it just doesn't go anywhere past this point.
No, it doesn't.
Because, like, you know, Abby wakes up and she's like, oh, she smelled bacon. She gets out and she sees her aunt there. And she just doesn't let Mike explain at all. And Abby immediately goes to the I hate you and storms off and scribbles out his face on all of her drawings.
That was so petty.
That went overboard.
That's such a weird reaction.
Like the hate, like, I hate you, Mike. She's like, she'll just get over it. Don't worry about it.
Like Mike was literally there. He's like, sit down. It's not what you think. We just want to talk. Even Mike says, I'm not giving you up, because she knows about the forms. He says, it's not that. Just let me talk. It's like, nah. Like, I hate. Also, I don't mean to proper discredit, but child actors are really never the best sometimes at portraying those kind of emotions.
I just dislike that scene. Like it was too much for her. Like doing that. Like, I hate you. Like, yo, I told you, like, you're not going anywhere. You can. I just want you to be babysat. All right. I don't want you to get hurt. Like, that's it. That was all for that scene. But no, she was like, I hate you, Mike. I'm out of here. Peace out, dude. Like, and just scribbles his face on everything. Thus, proving the point of the teacher saying, like, hey, you're her world. Like, you're the center of everything. Thus, basically doing it for everything there.
Yeah, so the aunt was there as like the babysitter. Mike leaves to get more sleeping meds. He goes to get sleeping meds, and just like the guy at the fucking pharmacist.
Poor pharmacist.
He's trying to talk to him, and the guy's like, no. He's like, what an asshole.
Yeah, he just said, like, you know, sometimes I use this to help me see. And Mike's like, yeah, just walks away. He's like, man, what an asshole. That guy saw he had 2 lines, and he wanted to try and make the most of it. So now we're the 5th time in Mike's memories, but it's not his memories. It's a fake memories given to him by the ghost children.
For context, he's gone back to the pizzeria.
Yes.
During daytime.
Also, I just shout on child actors, but the one that played the blonde kid in the striped shirt, he actually did a pretty decent job.
Yeah, he's fine.
I had no problems with him. He did a really good job. I can see him having a good career in the future. But and you know, like they bring up where he offered them anything if they can help him find the killer, and they're like, no, you don't want that. You just want him to be alive, like you wanted to be there. We can give you this dream because they can somehow do that.
It's like typical like supernatural bullshit. Like, don't think about it too hard.
Yeah, and like as a thing they want Abby, and like and Mike agrees, but then immediately regrets it and says no, and then the kids start fucking attacking him.
This is to resemble the animatronics attacking him, and again, I question, why didn't the animatronics just kill him? They put him in the mask trap, that's what I'm gonna call it there, fuck it, like, why not just kill him there? Doesn't make any sense.
Like is that the rule in the animatronics? Only kill the guards in the mask trap?
I guess, but like, why?
But why did Mike know to unscrew the shackle? Because the previous night guard was thinking to do that because he did it with the vent. So he had the thinking of unscrewing in mind, but Mike didn't know to do that. Also, Mike was like really badly injured, and somehow he mustered the strength to unscrew those things to break out the last seconds.
If I was about to kiss the face of death, I feel like I would have a little bit of an adrenaline rush, to be honest. I think pain be damned.
Fair enough, but he still managed to break open a door that was locked tight despite his injuries. Like, Mike could do a lot when he's fucking injured. He gets injured a lot in this film.
They had to nerf him for this film. They had to nerf him in the final act. Otherwise he would have decimated the fucking main threat. And when he escapes the trap, he finds the three victims. And I just got a question. Mike, did you never go into this room before? Even when you were cleaning up? And you never saw these bodies?
He did once with Vanessa, because that was one of the supply rooms in which he went inside to get the cart, like the tablecloths for the fort, and that's where they find the suit on the floor. But for the bodies, to not see the bodies or something like that, like that's kind of like a little bit too much right there.
Yeah, and like this like goes to like this is like a completely this is like a complete tangent, but like this is like the one thing that like constantly it's a thing that's been around since like FNaF like 1 or something, with a whole thing that's been going on where, wait, should I reveal this now? Should I talk about like the kids being stuffed into the animatronics? Should I leave that for later?
I mean, it's gonna get brought up in like a bit after we talk about Abby again.
All right, I'll leave it for later. I'll just leave it for later.
Sure. But yeah, so Mike breaks out, black screen, and cuts to the aunts trying to talk Abby. Well, I say try. Like Lidge says, Abby, you gonna come out? No. Well, I'm gonna watch TV then. And then we see not Freddy, but a blue-eyed Freddy, which people say Golden Freddy. The film is so dark, I don't see a hint of gold on that.
I'm watching the film right now, and yeah, this is a lot more yellow than the Freddy we knew from before. And I am also extremely confused in the fact that how, in the name of fuck, did Golden Freddy know where they live? How did you get here? This makes no sense.
Abby was already talking to the kids. Like, remember when one of the kids was on the bed when Mike sat down? Like, oh, you sat on him. Like, oh, my bad. And they say that you're stupid. Like, well, at least I'm real. And he just leaves.
I didn't see any yellow on Freddy, but I guess that's just my cinema screen not showing colors, I guess. Fair enough. But Golden Freddy kills Aunt, and that's what she's finally named as Aunt Jean.
And this is another thing about the film. Remember way back when I said there will be plot points and they never get like resolved? This is one of them. The aunt is dead. The film never touches upon it again. The aunt is just dead. We don't know like if anyone found the body. Yeah, we don't know what happened, like, you know, did anybody find her? Did, I don't know, Mike call the police? Did he fucking bury her? Like, did he fucking hang her from a tree? I don't know, like, she's dead, and the film is like, alright, moving on.
Like, jumping to the end of the film, just like after everything that happens, you know, I imagine Mike just wants to go home and fucking sleep.
And then sees, boom, dead aunt.
Yeah, just see Jean's body is like, oh, fuck, I gotta worry about this now.
You're like, oh, why?
But anyway, so, you know, Golden Freddy, you know, sees Abby and just, you know, it's like, oh, you've, the friends, like we all want to play with you, you know. takes her to somewhere, and that's when we cut back to Mike waking up somewhere. I guess Vanessa saw him because she was doing her beat, and is like, okay, you're healed up. Like, also, I just want to say, like, his like all of his bandages are surprisingly very clean, despite how much he was bleeding.
I'll also mention that Golden Freddy managed to successfully get Abby because they go in through taxi. The taxi driver does not question the animatronic with a rotting child inside of it. Again, we will save this for later. I'll save it for later.
And this is where, like, you know, Vanessa knows exactly what the animatronics are going to do, and she just doesn't do anything. Like, she never explained to Mike, she never warned Mike, like you guys are saying, she never warned Mike about this stuff.
Yeah, because she refused to tell him for whatever the fucking reason.
Well, no, because this is where it is, like, you know, revealed that she is Afton's daughter. Like, you know, she explains everything about how William Afton killed the kids and she is his daughter. So I guess, like, he still wanted to kill more kids, and it's just like one of those, she wants to warn people, but she can't disobey her father?
Yeah, again, she is traumatized by the shit that he's done and all that through her whole life and all that. But in that scene is revealed that in the picture that she shows Mike is her when she was a kid with William Afton dressed as the Golden Bonnie, and she's holding the little orange plane that Garrett had at the beginning of the movie. She wanted to tell him at the beginning, but she was just afraid about her father.
No, she did say that she had no idea.
Yeah, she had no idea about, like, the plane and about Garrett and all that, but she was afraid of her father, of, like, the consequences of letting him know of, like, of what would happen.
Also, I just want to point out that, like, you know, okay, you often get people finding out clues based on what they see, right? It's a toy plane. If that was a homemade toy plane, then fine. Pretty sure you could have just bought that one in shops, but he saw that and immediately thought of his brother. That could have just been a coincidence.
Yeah, like, I can understand where you're coming from that scene. Like, the only way to fix this scene alone is that when they were in the camping scene, like, the mom or the dad could have said, like, man, like, ever since I made that toy for your brother, like, he's been nonstop using that toy.
Yeah, easily could have done a throwaway line. Like, you know, just like, he's like, man, he loves that plane. Well, of course he does. You made it for him, darling. Like, you know?
So here we get to my big complaint about not just the movie, but the entire franchise in general. Okay? Right? This is the one plot point that has always fucking bothered me. So, Afton, he kills kids, and to dispose of the evidence, he puts them in the suits, right? And the police have never found them, but they remember, like, this foul odor, right? How the fuck did Mike not have this whole thing with the animatronics? He was right next to them. Abby hugged fucking Freddy, okay? How did they never piece together that, like, I don't know, guys, these animatronics smell like absolute fucking death. Maybe something's going on here. You mean to tell me that nobody's fucking thinks, shouldn't we check inside the animatronics because they kind of smell like shit? Z, please tell me, is it ever explained why they don't do that in any of the source material, any of the books, any of the comics, anything?
I'm going there, and I'm going to tell you some bullshit reasons as well. All right, so Vanessa does say that, oh, why wouldn't they? They never thought about thinking of checking the suits, and I can agree on that. I can agree with you 120% of, like, why didn't they do anything when the smell did it? Hell, even the fucking games said, like, oh, the because tampering or something about the animatronics smelling like death. Like, I'm totally on board on that. But for the next part that you said, like, oh, he was literally hugging her, Freddy and all that. Like, dude, those bodies have been decaying for so many years. That's from the 80s. It's been years already. What's in there is probably dust and bones. That's all there is. There's not going to be a smell emanating for it. From the beginning, I can totally agree with you. That is bullshit that they just nonchalantly decide not to check the wearable. Well, they weren't wearable because they weren't wearable. Yeah, only Spring Body was the only wearable one. So I could say like, oh, like there couldn't be anything. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But the smell is not going to be there right now. It's been like what, 20, 30, 40 years? Like maybe the you can't smell you can't have the smells now. But at the beginning, total bullshit. I don't know how they didn't like say, what's in here? Like let's open this shit up. Even though noticing exactly, because in the games they do explain that after the whole incident that happened with the kids missing and all that, they close it down and shut it down. But was there no investigation and check what happened in said pizzeria? You know, like I'm totally on that. But like again, like there's some things that I do agree with, and there's some things that like I could let pass, you know, a little bit, but not all of it.
All right, okay. So the thing happening 40 years. All right, I'll extend an olive branch. I'll give you that. All right, fair enough. You raise a valid point there.
Unfortunately, I have a counter argument.
You had to say this right after I said I agree with you, Z. What the fuck? Why you have to make you look stupid, Tommy?
I have a counter argument because I don't think that meant that you say a lot of years have passed. I really don't think a lot of years have passed.
It was in the 80s, and the first game takes place in like the 90s, right?
Yes, but I don't. But like the way Z implies is that this FNaF film takes place in the modern day.
Oh yeah, like in the 2020s, but it doesn't.
It clearly doesn't. There's no mobile phone in sight. Like that is a 1990s car. Those bodies would still have those bodies would not have decayed in those time. In that time, there still would be some smell.
Let me see. I'm just gonna Google this and hopefully not get into a fucking watch list. How long does a body take to decay? If insects can be excluded, a body will decompose quite slowly because maggots are the most viscerous flesh feeders. Although an exposed human body in optimum conditions can be reduced to bone in 10 days, a body that is buried 1.5 meters underground retains most of its tissue for a year.
And they were in the air. It was behind metal.
Or okay, I got this here. Well, how long does it take for a body to fully decay in a coffin? Which I guess will count the animatronics kind of as a coffin. It's like a half one, right? So the body takes between 10 to 15 years to decay to a point where you may find just bones.
And this happened in the 80s. And the movie it happened in the 20s and 2000s.
It wasn't the 2000s, it was the 90s.
It definitely wasn't 2000s.
Yeah, it was in the 90s. Because it says this film says it takes place around the first game.
Yeah, but this is the movie. I mean, this is the movie, and that's the games.
I suppose. Yeah, because we did say that the game canon and movie canon's different. Either way, I think it's just something worth questioning, and it was a nice little debate. Anyways, we'll move on if you guys want to do that.
I would say Vanessa just not doing anything to Afton, like not turning him in is. Like just because she's his daughter is a bit of a stupid plot point. I get childhood trauma, but you are a police officer. Why haven't you told other police officers?
Yeah, what is a guy in a little fucking like spring lock suit gonna do against like a fucking, I don't know, a SWAT team? Like
it's a bit of a stupid point. Like, do your fucking job. You can't berate Mike for not doing his job when you're not doing yours.
Like, are you actually a cop, or like, how'd you get that car? You probably stole it.
I think maybe like the wildest theory like I could possibly think of to justify why Vanessa like just didn't tell Mike anything about Afton is that it is established in the movie that the wall of drawings for some reason are connected to the animatronics because of a plot point revealed later. And maybe there's something on that wall that prevents Vanessa from talking about it, but if that's the case, that doesn't make any sense because she eventually like talks about it to Mike at the end of it. So, again, I don't know why she held out for this long besides the script writers going like, well, we can't reveal this 30 minutes into the film, so we're going to hold off on this for now.
So Vanessa gives Mike a taser and one of those like electric sticks. I forgot what they're called. And Abby arrives at the pizzeria where she is like, she basically gets lured into the back by Chica. Thank God that those animatronics take forever to walk. Otherwise, Abby would have been long dead before Mike gets her.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like
80s animatronics definitely, because my goodness, these boys are slow.
Like, we have to take at this point, we have to take the film's word for it that those things can run, because you see them walk. Boom, 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 boom.
The only runner is Foxy.
Yeah, also very lucky that the film didn't choose Foxy to guide Abby to the fucking back rooms.
Yeah, I know.
And they choose Chica, who's arguably the slowest animatronic. Just imagine Foxy like just grabbing Abby by dragging her across the floor towards the back, like dum 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 dum.
Just like Foxy just knows, just like, Foxy sees Chica hobbling away. He's like, oh fuck this! Walks over, grabs Abby. We're going. Let's do this. We have like an interesting moment where like Mike sneaks to the stage and hides before Freddy can turn to look, but Bonnie was looking directly at him while he was hobbling over.
Bonnie was stoned out of his mind. I don't think he was paying attention to anything.
That's the thing, because Freddy immediately looks, sees nothing, and then goes back to his singing thing. It's like, do the children just come in and out of like possession?
I guess so. I don't know.
Mike does a little clever bit with water and electricity. A little spot I thought was actually pretty clever to do.
I can only imagine that the artists for the animatronics were just cringing when they saw their creations fall so hard onto the floor. I'd be like, I cringed a little at that.
That's probably what happened when Bonnie fell during the full build. Just like behind the cameras, just like the Jim Henson company were just like cringing, like, oh.
That took so long to do.
They probably didn't know about it. It was going to happen in the script. But Abby was going to be put in the spring lock.
And again, Chica's very fucking slow about it.
I honestly, I always thought that Afton did the killings himself because I guess he just liked killing kids. But no, he just has spring locks to it. And then Mike tases Chica, and also just like a very shitty line read from Abby happens. Mike hugs her, just like he's like, I'm so sorry, Abby. I love you. Just like, you are all that I care about. And just Abby just says like, it's like, I love you too, but maybe we should get out of here. And it's like, you nearly died. She would like maybe sound a bit more panicked.
Yeah.
And of course, during this, Mike gets attacked by the cupcake because the cupcake was still there. Just fucking like little chihuahua on the ankle vibes.
Yeah. the cupcake was quite funny.
I would have loved it if it had like metallic growling noises. But Abby runs, and like Foxy starts stalking her. The one time he actually takes his time looking all over the place. When she's hiding behind the fucking centipede arcade machine, and he goes there, she somehow managed to sneak past him to get into the ball pit.
That was BS. I wish I could have understand that. And again, that scene right there is another parallel from the books. I mean, with the books and comics, that they hide behind the arcade machine to escape from Foxy. But it's BS that he was walking straight. For him, he was walking straight. To his right, it was the arcade machine where Abby was. And that's where somehow she jumped into the ball pit. Like, I don't know how.
Without making a single sound.
The only way she would have gotten there is by running in front of him. There's no way she could have gone behind him.
I would argue maybe she snuck around behind the arcade machine, but there was no space to go through to go behind him and thus jump into the pool. But by then, with that knowledge, she could have just left the arcade area in a hole instead of going inside the ball pit. I don't know. That part was kind of dumb. There was no reason or way for her to be in the ball pit. And it was not like he was destroying or breaking any of the arcade machines like in the books, that he got entertained and started destroying some of the arcade machines as she's hiding and sneaking around behind the machines. So I don't know. I think that's a BS part as well. When I first saw that as well, that was BS.
Yeah. But we also, at this point in the film, we see Golden Bunny. We see William Afton in his suit. And yeah, look, I'm sorry. It was fucking cool. It was fucking cool. That suit looks mwah, mwah.
The song that they made for him, his reveal, just like crouching, like crawling into the scene from the darkness.
The way they like managed to combine both like Golden Bunny and like the Springtrap look. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And also shows that William Afton is fucking strong. With like pushing him like halfway across the pizzeria. Yeah, he is using the suit, to be fair. Yeah.
Admittedly, like, the suit looked good. I just didn't like how, like, they felt the need to give him a voice filter when he put on the mask.
He's behind a mask. It's not like you're gonna listen to him normally. It's like a be kind of muffled.
The way we see Afton here, which makes you realize, and feel free to correct me, but it's like I don't think we ever got a motive for Afton to want to kill so many kids.
Nah, it's just like I am a serial killer. That's basically it.
There has to have been a motive behind the first victim, at least.
With the books, like the first victim was basically Garrett, which Mike's dad was the co-founder and creator of Fazbear. In which, like, this is like books and games related. Like, this is a huge theory right now. That, yeah, with the movie, we don't know anything about. Because there's some hints and hinting about the guy that was fixing the animatronic while the presenter was showing, like, the video and the tape and all that. But it's hints that by Steve knowing Smith, he also knew his dad. Thus, in the books, his dad killed himself because of the loss of his kid by creating a murder bot, a suicide bot, basically. And that's a whole different lore for another part. But he created the animatronics, and so did Afton as well. And as a revenge plot, he took and killed Garrett into his car. Again, hensing there was no license plate on the car. And with me telling you and reminding you, in his dreams, you could actually see like families and other cars and people doing other things in the background. And that's his dream that he's trying to piece in and find and he says the smallest detail of your brain in your memories that you can see what happens in the past. And he can remember things from afar, but he couldn't remember the license plate of a car. That was actually thought of. He thought about it. It was William Afton that took Garrett, took him. That was the first kill, hensing the, in quotations, the possible first kill for the puppet, like in the lore of the games and the books for the future. But that's for a later thing. So for the purpose of him killing the other kids, I don't know. Maybe he had a rush, or like maybe he has a motive later in the future with the movies of a reasoning to kill the other 5 kids. But there is a motive of why maybe he killed the first one, that being Mike's younger brother and the son of the co-creator of Fazbear, or the animatronics that are used for Freddy Fazbear's.
All right, well, thank you, Matt.
Well, I wanted to point out this editing error that was like blink you'll miss it type deals, right? And as Afton's kicking the absolute shit out of Mike, yeah, You see that he does this kick, yeah? You see the initial kick, and then you see the foot goes back down. And then in the next shot after, you see the foot's way up. So like, did he do 2 or what happened?
He tripped a little bit. He was regaining his footing.
I should also point out during this moment, Vanessa comes in out of fucking nowhere, tases Foxy and saves Abby, even though she really didn't want to do it because, you know, my father, just like, she somehow had a change of heart. Like this, like, of all the times to have a change of heart, of God knows how many other people have died, and now she has a change of heart.
She has a crush on Mike. That's how it is.
Yeah, I wish they actually showed that a bit more. And like during this time, this is where it's revealed that, you know, dun, Afton was Steve the work coach, which is like one of those, like, I had to take a minute to process, like, fucking, oh right, that guy.
I love Matthew Lillard's performance as Afton. He's really hamming it up. Like, the guy's done like cheesy horror movies before, so he's definitely he's treading on some old ground, which I think is quite cool.
It's also during this, but like somehow Mike knows that the drawings are connected. Like the only hint I can get from it is when Abby said earlier, it's like they really like drawings, but how does he know that, like, because of that one drawing, that's why the animatronics are listening to Afton?
It makes no sense.
The only thing that I could remember about that part is like Vanessa talking about the wall of drawings and all that, and showing like and explaining a tad bit of that said area of the drawings, and with Abby explaining that, oh, they like drawings, and her like actually like drawing out things that happen in the dreams, and what happened to Mike, what happened to Garrett, and everything happening at the pizzeria and all that. It's like there is no connection per se. Maybe there is, and we're not seeing the picture at the very least. But the only thing that we have is like Vanessa and Abby mentioning about the drawings and like being the foreground of the pizzeria for like, oh, the drawings are like meaning something and all that, like, oh, they love the yellow rabbit and all that, which in turn it's either Golden Freddy or Freddy saying in the dream state, like, hey, you gotta find the bunny, and he drew a bunny on the floor and all that. So to some degree they know it was him, but at the same time that they still do what he says, because like they're under his control. But I don't know how does that all partake with the building, you know? I don't understand the whole thing with like the drawing. That's where Abby comes in, like,
He's a bad man.
and like, oh, whoa, he's a bad guy? For real? Oh, we didn't know that. Oh, get him. It's like, okay. But again, that part with the whole drawing and showing the dead kids that he's the villain is another parallel of the books. But again, it's not explained to a way to understand in the movie.
It's just like, embrace it. We need a way to actually, like, you know, make sure that the animatronics can kill Afton.
I should also point out that, like, this is when, like, Afton and Vanessa are talking. You know, it's like, you had one job, there's two jobs, ha ha ha, pointless callback in this thing. Abby had time to make a drawing during this.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? That's how Springtrap is defeated. Abby just, like, there's this big drawing of a Golden Bonnie with all the 5 kids, right? And then Abby just pins another drawing of Afton, like, killing all the kids, and that makes the animatronics turn on Afton, which causes him to like, the cupcake attacks because, you know, it's a dog, of course it does that, and this activates the spring locks, and that's how Afton, quote unquote, dies.
The thing is, why, like, if you've been wearing that suit for so long, why would you keep the spring locks in? Why would you not take it out after all that time?
It is part of the suit. Like, if something gives you, if something gives you strength or an advantage against others, and especially something that he can actually wear.
Afton must be super powered if he wants to kill children.
Here's the thing, all right, with the whole suit that was made for him. Basically, that was him. Like, he knows how to wear that thing correctly. Thus Vanessa showing off the spring locks on the doll that was in the floor in the back room. But like, it doesn't explain that much for him to be wearing the suit so nonchalantly and throwing high kicks and taking and honestly though, when he received the initial shock of the stun gun, I thought that was when it was gonna go down for the spring locks. Hell, maybe that's the reason why they got quote unquote reactivated, and all it needed was a little push by the bite of the cupcake. Hey, maybe that's the thing, but that's kind of a stretch right there. I honestly thought the spring locks were going to be activated once he pressed down the stun gun. But honestly, like, that was right like 10 seconds after making the reveal, like, oh, it's the spring trap, it's the bunny boy. It's like, imagine just being revealed, 10 seconds later your spring locks activate, you die.
Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be a very funny way to end the film.
It would be very disappointing, but it would be very funny.
Yeah, a lot of people would dunk on that movie for just doing that. Like, so that would be like, so that's it? Only 10 seconds for the villain?
I could possibly, like, if the, like, when the official release comes out, I could do that edit of just him appearing, getting tased, and the spring locks activates.
Even the animatronics are looking around like, this is bullshit.
So he's there dying on the floor, and I get it's a reference, but just the "I always come back" moment just felt very unfitting in that moment.
That was a little forced, yeah, I'll give you that.
But there's a bit at the end of the film where he's there twitching in the kitchen. That would have been a great moment for him to have said it then.
Yeah, honestly, that I can agree, because people are pissed off of the fact that he said, "I always come back" so quickly and all that. Dude, you do realize this man is getting spring locked alive. He knows he's going to die. So, like, he's not, and I have to say, he did a wonderful job portraying what would it be like him actually getting spring locked and hearing the crackling and the gears just like crushing his insides all together and all that. It's like oh, arg, eeg, ack. Like, and for him to like accepting that he's going to quote unquote die right there, like, and saying "I always come back" and bloop, putting on the mask to finally quote unquote die. Like, sure, it was too fast, but again, like, he says it like the whole spring trap scene in the game, it was just portrayed by bits. Again, it was 8 bits, and him in the movie was like, all right, might as well add it here. I'm totally agreeing with Tommy on the fact that he could have said that, like, "I always come back," like, while he's just on the floor just twitching. That would have been amazing. Like, that shit would have been perfect right there and then, like, in the pure darkness, him shaking. It's like everything just ripped into him, and all he could say was just that, like, his like final words. That would have been amazing. And the animatronics just dragging him away, again, another parallel of the books. Like, they dragged them away as the pizzeria got ruined. Fantastic. I love that scene. They're like, "Yeah, you're coming with us. If we're all gonna die, you're gonna die with us, boy." It's like, "No, please, no. Oh God." But yes, him saying "I will always come back" in that back room as he twitched, it would have been fucking amazing. I would have lost my goddamn mind there.
Oh, it would have been so much better. I will say, like, that ending shot kind of reminded me of, like, to draw even more parallels to the first Saw movie. So yeah, you remember at the end where it's like John Kramer gets up and he's like, some people are so ungrateful to be alive, but not you, not anymore. And as Adam's screaming, he like slams the door, screaming like "Game over." I had that envisioned in my head with fucking Springtrap. So after the thing is destroyed, we get some like.
It's implied only a couple of weeks have gone by. Abby is completely fine.
Oh yeah. Abby's not at all traumatized by this.
Like, therapy. She needs therapy. Like, holy shit.
Seeing a child murderer die was her therapy. It's like, hey, yo, what?
They go to visit Vanessa, and I don't get why. She's been nothing but a detriment to Mike since they met. And he's like, no, we really hope you recover. You know, we really want to see you when you wake up. It's like, excuse me? She threatened to shoot you.
Because, Tommy, Mike loves her. It's a little
wait.
romance going on.
Tommy, I think you forget that the whole reason why they survived was because Vanessa pulling it through at the end. She's the one that saved Abby from the ball pit from Foxy by electrocuting him. And she went and faced... Yes, she faced Afton, get stabbed while Mike was on the floor trying to recover, and Abby just drawing away what was happening. So if it wasn't for her, they would all have died there.
True, but if it also, you know, if Vanessa had explained to Mike what was actually going on and why he shouldn't bring Abby to the pizzeria, all of this would have been prevented.
When she was about to get stabbed, when she faced against Afton in the movie, he told her like, yo, why didn't you do what I told you to do? I told you if they got too close, you dispose of them and blah, blah, blah. And things happen. And she's like,
No, I don't want to do that no more because that's 2 jobs. Haha, wink, wink.
and I hate you, Dad. You're a big meanie hiss. You're a stinky winky. It's like, what?
The way. So Vanessa had to keep an eye on them, keep an eye on the night guards, and kill them if they got too close. Why does that place need night guards? If they're gonna get too close, then kill them. Why do you need to keep hiring night guards if you're gonna kill them? Because that is just bringing up a bit more like, you know, suspicions on you. And I guess that's why Vanessa became a police officer, to help cover up the deaths. But that's gonna build up, and that's gonna warrant a further investigation. At that point, why bother with the night guards in the first place if you're just gonna kill them off?
That I do not know. Like, I see the point where you're coming at. Like, why have more people coming to the place to, like, you know, fucking kill? Like, I mean, maybe is the reason to kill people, but again, what you just said, it would raise suspicion about it. But again, Vanessa, her area is where the pizzeria is, and if you think about it, throughout the whole movie, she was only called once to report in to something happening on the radio. And like, maybe she decided to work at the police station just to like have that area secure for herself, thus help Afton, because she was under his quote-unquote control, but actually she was just traumatized and fearful for what he would do to her, seeing and knowing that what she's done. And obviously that pizzeria is not going to clean itself after the whole shit show that happened with those 4 guys. You think they were going to like the robots are going to clean that? No, that was Afton and Vanessa herself, like cleaning up after what the robots had did. And maybe the robots were the ones that stuffed in those people into the suits that were presented, you know? But that's about it. Like, that's all I can say about that part.
I think this is the most I've ever heard you talk about a movie, Z. It's very endearing.
I love FNaF.
Really?
I love it.
Despite all that, the film ends, and we get the living Tombstone, Five Nights at Freddy's.
And then in the middle of it, right? We're back to the taxi. Who comes in? Just as bro's trying to have a break 'cause he's off duty. Balloon Boy. He got me each time he was on screen.
In a way, I'm glad they didn't. So they left some sequel bait, but it wasn't too obvious to where, like, you know, you think they're making another one.
It ties itself up pretty nicely, so.
Yeah, if this is a one-off, then fine.
Oh, it ain't gonna be a one-off. Jesus Christ, this movie made so much fucking money.
With the money that it racked? No way, sir.
Bro, the fucking budget for this film was 20 million. They made at least like fucking like 10 times that at this point.
Here's the thing, because Cawthon wanted Blumhouse specifically because they can make films on the cheap, and like the animatronics helped cut the budget on that. I wonder if they did go with CGI, how much would that have increased the budget by?
Oh, it would have increased it by at least like twice. Because CGI is very expensive.
It would have increased it a lot, but the ratings for it would have been so much lower. Like, a lot of people wouldn't like that. Because it's not giving that actual feeling of animatronics, but bringing them in, so good.
You gotta think from different perspectives. The fans would have given it poor ratings because, you know, it's not actual animatronics. The casuals wouldn't know or wouldn't care.
Exactly. New people wouldn't understand, like, the difference. Like, I think it was pretty good and blah, blah, blah. But no, like, a lot of people, I can agree, like, fans that could actually tell, like, they would have, like, tanked it because of the CGI, unless if it was actually good CGI. But let's be fair. Like, good CGI, it's like, it's gonna be hard, and especially like for quote unquote cheap. Like, no, it wasn't gonna go very well for fans. But what really pulled it through was like people knowing and being told like, hey, this is gonna be with actual animatronics. So like, yo, they're pulling strings to making this movie. And when they presented the animatronics, like, people, the internet blew up, and they didn't make any redesigns. They didn't add or take away much of the official designs of the original characters and all that. That was amazing. That was simply amazing.
Yeah, they kept it like 1-to-1.
That is also something that is quite surprising, because normally when a film thing comes out, they do tend to redesign them for one reason or another. I am surprised that the animatronics just stayed the same.
Like, the only thing that was kind of redesigned for some odd reason was giving Freddy some gloves in the sign. That was it.
Alright, fellas. So, now that we have gone over the film, and we've discussed it quite in depth, has this discussion helped change your ratings at all for the movie? Because I know it has for me.
Not really. Like, I still have issues with the plot. What's also a big issue for me, and this could just be a me thing, is that Five Nights at Freddy's is one of those films that you could really only enjoy on your first watch, because you're in awe at how amazingly done the animatronics are. And when you watch it a second time, that magic is kind of gone. You know, it's like, yeah, because the first time it's like, wow, those look so cool. And it's like, oh yeah, you know, those are quite cool. It's like not the same excitement that was once there.
You're kind of more exposed to the actual flaws of the film now that the rose-tinted goggles of like, oh my god, they look great, is like vanished. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, that's fair.
That's why I like, whenever I do these podcasts, I want to watch the film twice to make sure that my thoughts have stayed the same and it's not just like a nostalgia thing or just like, you know,
a hype thing. Yeah, like recency bias is definitely a thing.
Yeah, but no, my thoughts have stayed the same. I do think it is just a 5 out of 10 film.
That's fair enough. What about you, Eddie?
I stand by my 7. It's overall pretty solid experience. Bit rough around the edges, but it gets what it needs to right.
That's fair. Zay, how about you?
Standing firm with my 7 out of 10. Like, I would give it higher, like a 7.5 and all that, but I'm happy with a 7 out of 10, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. I think my rating has gone up from a 7 to a 7.5. There's definitely like little things that I think is like greatly appreciated.
It's greatly appreciated, and like my experience compared to like your experience, Tommy's experience, Eddie's experience, anybody's, is totally different. And I enjoyed the movie so much. I really did. Like, again, since I can understand some of the things that were portrayed in the movie and some things that I didn't, I was like, wow, like they really did a lot, and they tried their best to push that PG-13 either way. I was like, wow, like this has its flaws, but it's not shit, you know? Like,
you could tell that the people behind it like definitely did their homework when it came to the production, which is always commendable.
they really did their best in doing what they could, and I just hope that in the future, like if they make part 2, it's like put a little bit more budget into it, and let's see how it goes. Because with the credits, like they gave us not only the Living Tombstone, which I'm so happy for the Living Tombstone.
Oh yeah, that's just like such a nice little handsome bow at the end of it. It's like, you know what, you guys have gone far. You 100% deserved it.
He made actually the anthem for FNaF, but then the reveal after the songs, they played the marionette song, thus giving you the opening. You're like, hey, the second movie, which is the second location, but also at the very end of all of that, they give you the "It's Me" Easter egg from the mini games as well. So it's like, can't wait for the marionette. Like, if they did the animatronics wonderfully, imagine the marionette and the other characters. Like, imagine the toys. I think, honestly, they might push it a little bit with the marionette. I think they're gonna have like some animatronic-esque into it with some CGI.
I don't know, the idea of seeing like the marionette just like flying around with like a bit of string is really funny to me.
With its arms flailing about as it's
Yeah.
flying.
The same fucking thing's like going kind of hallway like.
What if they actually did like maybe not have the marionette being an animatronic, but actually just like hooked it up to some strings and just flung it around like a puppet?
That'd be funny. That'd be cool. Like it'd be true to the animatronic. So I wouldn't complain.
In a whole, it's always been on a hanging thread either way. Yeah.
I think what is interesting is that we are currently in an era where video game films are becoming competent. But the problem is that they've not been the best, but they are making a lot of money. And it does beg the question, because you could see that they want to make a good film and that they're not just making them cash grabs. You know, this isn't like what happened in like the 90s and stuff, where they just half-assed films like the Mario film.
It wasn't like Doom or anything like that. Like there was actual like effort being put into this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not Mario Brothers. It's not Doom, and it's certainly not like the early live-action Resident Evil films. So my question is, do you think that we are now in an era where superhero films are dying out? Now it's time for video game films.
I'd be open to it. I feel like there's definitely a lot of video game franchises that can like work as movies, but like I think the big thing that we're all gonna have to realize that like there's definitely going to be a lot of video games that are going to be adapted into films that aren't going to work as movies. Yeah, and I do hope that the films get better writing wise. I would much rather take, you know, couple of shitty movies and a couple of really good movies besides like complete mediocrity that we've been getting so far. Because Sonic 1, okay. Sonic 2, kind of shit. Mario movie, you know, just kind of shit as well. I just hope that the writing quality gets better, and FNaF is definitely going in like the right direction with it. I can see the quality going up, and I just hope that they continue with that. And yeah, maybe video game films have quite a bright future. I'm feeling optimistic about it.
Thing is, I also want a big ask, I'm aware, but I want them to make. I don't want them to make these films for the fans of the games. I want them to make them for the casual audience, because when you're making them for the fans, you are prioritizing reference over story.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's a really hard hurdle, yeah.
And that's the problem with it, where like it becomes a bit too much. Like there's not enough story to back up the references. With the FNaF film, there wasn't a lot of references. There was definitely more story, but the story needed work.
It's like all the references were kept to like the background, which is like, you know, ideal. That's like perfect. Like that, yeah, that's how you do a reference.
And, you know, I do think video game films have potential. You know, they're clearly making money. And I just hope that it just gets to a point where, like, because if they make a film about an indie game, there's a high chance that the creator's gonna get involved. If they're just saying make an Undertale film, you know, Toby Fox is gonna, you know, be involved in that stuff. Do you guys have any closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts to say before we end the podcast?
Go see the movie if you haven't. If you're a FNaF fan, you'll really enjoy it. There's a lot of little treats to have.
Out of all of everything that we said about the movie, the games, the books, and everything, I want to close off with saying thank you, Scott Cawthon, because thank you for what he created. Thank you for FNaF. Thank you for the games, the movies, the everything. The fans have blessed us also with fantastic projects and all that. And Scott Cawthon is a wonderful person to have actually even supported and funded some fan projects as well, and even worked with some of them too. And I want to say a special thanks to Scott Cawthon.
But yeah, thank you everyone who has made it to this podcast, the longest one yet. And hey, if you had this in the background when you were grinding in an RPG or whatever, we hope you are ready to feed the great Bahamut. Next time we'll do this, I believe it's going to be Sonic 3. That's coming out next year. We could do more of this. If there is a film that you want us to watch and discuss in a podcast, let us know in the comments. Anime film, hero film, another video game.
I'm not watching cape shit. Fuck that.
Cape shit?
Superhero movies.
Oh, okay. This has been the Five Nights at Freddy's podcast. If you like to see any, be sure to let us know down below. And yeah, that's all we got to say really. And subscribe. See you later. Thank you guys so much for watching. He's Manga Writer. He's Galactic Cuisine. He's Z the Hyena. And I'm Sergeant Major Mario saying, ciao.
Chill.
Bye.
See ya.